he labels Nichol Kessinger a Jezebel who destroyed his life. Watts told him that Kessinger gave him an ultimatum on the night of the murders. It's your family or me.
There's never been any doubt about that. This video is going to tell you about how it all went down, the details and the facts.
Woman who had an affair with Chris Watts told our partners at the Denver Post that she hardly knew anything about Shanann and that she had only recently started a relationship with Chris. Well, there is now evidence to suggest that she knew about Shanann almost a year before the murders.
Nichol later talked to police.
And then one day he told me that he had 2 kids. I was like, that's pretty cool. And started telling me about his kids.
That sounded like a sarcastic comment.
No, I thought it was kind of cute. I was like, oh, he's a dad. It was like right around Father's Day, too.
She learned he was married, even though she says he didn't wear a wedding ring.
I'm so out of breath.
The other woman claims she met Watts in June. She says she thought Watts was at the end of his divorce proceedings.
I didn't know his significant other's name for a while. And then I think he told me his kids' names pretty quick.
This one is Chris Watts. Chris Watts.
But police had found her internet searches from the year before. Kessinger searched the name Shanann Watts in September of 2017.
I didn't know his significant other's name for a while.
Am I in trouble because I related to sex?
You're not in trouble. Is it criminal? No.
Well, in Colorado, destruction of evidence is a felony.
Is there concern that you're hiding something? Potentially.
You know, I'm worried about this white kid. They're so little. She's pregnant. No one is like, where's their mom?
Say hi. Say hi. Cece likes the camera. Say hi, Cece. Say hi. Hi. She loves the camera. I don't know if you guys saw her. And then there's Bella. Say hi. I was in a really bad place. And I got a friend request from Chris on Facebook. And I was like, oh, what the heck? I'm never going to meet him. Except
I'm having a wonderful time. You mean a lot to me. And I'm glad that you're having a blast. I am so out of breath.
he's the best thing that has ever happened to me.
Nichol Kessinger turned out to have information that I can best describe as being a bombshell.
It's hot.
Nichol Kessinger did cooperate with police. She says she went to them when she started suspecting that Watts was behind his family's disappearance. Yeah, guys, police interviewed Nichol Kessinger, the other woman. She came forward to police about the same time that Watts' employer, Anna Darko, had found emails indicating a relationship between the two.
Somebody cut out your eyes, you refuse to see. Somebody cut out your heart, you refuse to feel. And you live in a shell, create your own hell. You live in the past and talk about war. And you take your own grave, yeah, but it's a life you can save. So stop getting fast, it's not gonna happen. And you'll cry, but you'll never fall. No, 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 you're building a wall. Gotta break it down, start on your forget. No, it won't happen to us. We've lived our lives, basically we've been good men. So stop talking on war, 'cause you know we've had it all before. Why don't you go out there and do something useful? Go listen to the man.
What we're looking at here is some of the actual footage from the drive from Saratoga Trail in Frederick, Colorado to Cervi 319. Every time I see this, every single time, I think about Bella and I try to make myself imagine what it was she was feeling on this ride. And every single time it reminds me without any doubt that justice is worth pursuing, even if it takes a long time and even if there are some kind of shady stops along the way. Before moving forward into the part two content. Nope, we're not doing that right now. No. Hi guys, welcome. How are you doing? Just give me a second. Back it up. Oh, does anyone know who that artist was? That last song? I saw some of you guys asking about who that is. Anybody know? Can anybody guess? It's somebody who has had a very, very famous song. A few famous songs, not nearly as famous as the one that was, like top of the charts for a very long time. At least in the United States, I haven't heard this person come out with anything, recently whatsoever, but can anybody name that artist? Well, I try to find myself here. Okay, cool. All right, let me go to chat. And, well, thank you. Welcome. How are you doing? Hi guys. Okay, welcome to everybody who's here. All right, I got my head straight now. Okay, so and thank you, Donna West. Thank you. I really appreciate your comment. Donna said, pretty much I'm a silent subscriber, but I just wanted to thank you, Kelly, that I love your channel, or I want to tell you I love your channel and the work you put into your research and videos. Thank you. That really means a lot to me. Thank you so much. It's hard creating Watts content at times, and this is one of these times again. It ebbs and it flows, but okay, so listen. No, and how's this sound, by the way? I'm like in my stairwell because my son's being a little loud. It's a little loud outside. There's like a band playing like down in the park down the street. Are you getting like an echo or is it okay? I was just trying to insulate myself. Hey, Guilty of Crime, how are you doing? I was going to schedule this initially for last night, but I thought, oh, no, Guilty of Crime has Watts Wednesdays. But then I just actually was able to go to bed a little earlier, which was nice. So that's why I wasn't there. Okay, so that artist, by the way, was Sinead O'Connor, that last song. And so listen up. So here's what's going to happen. So, the part, everyone's just calling it the part two premiere. It was Chris Watts' mistress, Nichol Kessinger, more involved than you thought you knew. And the first part was called An Assist by District Attorney Rourke. The second part is the next premiere, which I was going to start this live stream and then premiere it. And then I'm going to tell you what's happened all week when I've tried to do this. And you tell me if you think that's crazy or not, but I still have plans. And so I'm going to have to premiere it tomorrow night. So YouTube now has a new way where you can license music directly through them, because until just recently, and this YouTube program is in the beta mode right now. So anything beta on YouTube, I can just tell you as a creator, guys, if anyone here is a creator, like if it's beta, please don't even kind of sort of rely on it. Like silly me, because it doesn't work. It just doesn't work out. So now you can buy licensed to music directly through YouTube, like per use. So in the video that I was going to premiere, and that's actually part of it, and I can just, in the live stream, I don't care as much, but once I premiere that video, I can't change that. I can't like I can't change the settings. So it would basically, I don't know, it's kind of a long story. So I don't mind doing it in the live stream, but I'm not going to play any more of the video tonight, because when I just went to make sure I could start the premiere when I wanted to, YouTube was banning me from doing it as a premiere, saying I needed to buy the license. Well, I already bought the license. So then I went and I bought the license again, and I still got the same message. So homie ain't playing that game. And if I have to edit it out for the premiere tomorrow night, I will. But once I put that video up as a premiere, it's just how it is. And it's, the rest of its life is going to be determined by that moment. So I don't know if that makes sense to you, but I just want you guys to understand why that is. Because Monday night, it was a storm coming through upstate New York. Couldn't do it. And then, let's see, I rescheduled it for Tuesday night. Got an email from YouTube saying that notifications for certain channels were not going out. And my channel was in that group, at least partly affected. and they'd have the problem fixed in about 24 hours, within 24 hours. So again, I was like, I'm not going to, put out this content I've been working so hard on if they're not even going to push out notifications. So if you have any way of giving feedback to the powers that be, which you probably don't because it's like the wizard behind the curtain, right? I just want you to know that. And, I'm not trying to just drag you guys around all week. That's what's going on. But I do have a plan for tonight, and I'll get to see all of you guys again tomorrow night, which is absolutely amazing. So I can't schedule a premiere ahead of time. So I'm just going to plan for it to start tomorrow night. I can't do it tomorrow night. It's going to have to be Saturday night. Man. Oh, that is a bummer. Saturday night at 9 o'clock. Okay. And then I will put out an email and I'll put on a community post. So it's going to have to be Saturday night because I have an obligation to some friends tomorrow and I have to keep it. So that's what's going on. Oh, Guilty of Crime says, it does that to me too. It did it to me today. I know, it's just terrible. I don't know why they can't. I know they're always trying to, provide new things for the viewers' experience and for creators. And that's great. And I appreciate that. And I get the necessity of it. If you're going to be like a nearly monopolizing platform on the internet, it's important to do that. But at the same time, a little consistency really would be nice, So yeah, please do remain respectful in chat. That's really important. That's really like our big rule around here. But I'm so glad all of you guys are here. And Alex Booyah, hi, I see you. How's it going? Hi, think for yourself. And I'm gonna just get into playing some content since I just talked for quite a bit there. And what we're gonna do tonight is to go over, and some of this is content that I haven't uploaded to YouTube, so it'll be new to everybody. Just some of the issues that happened during this investigation, during law enforcement's presentation of the timeline, certainly in their handling of Nichol Kessinger and, some of the other evidence in general, as we were talking about, I think it was on Monday night, discussing the handling of the evidence that was collected in the truck, but was never actually gone and analyzed. In fact, it was refused and it was key evidence. If you didn't catch that, you can go back and watch it. It's only like a little bit over an hour long because I started choking. Oh, this is my question. Is there some force out there preventing me from premiering this freaking video? Because I really feel like it. Like, I'm totally serious. It feels like that to me right now. So it's just been the strangest thing time and time and time again. So what do y'all think about that? Just one second here. Okay, there. To switch locations. I could hear myself echoing, and that just wasn't working for me. One second, get plugged in, and then we're going to start. So we're going to look at some of those issues that have been very problematic in the case, including, the inaccuracies or the missing items that are critical and material to the crimes that were committed in the official timeline. We're going to go over that. And then also something that I only talked about once. I made a video about this a few months back, 6 months back. I'm not sure how long ago it was. I had never covered this issue before, really. And honestly, I hadn't seen anyone cover it. I'm sure people have, absolutely, positively, in the life of this case, but I hadn't seen it. I was going back through this information today and I was like, damn, this is really, really important as we're putting all the pieces together here, because that's what we're doing at this point. At least that's how I'm looking at it. Like, I'm putting out some, not final, but really refined Watts content on the issues that occurred in this case and the injustice, the incomplete justice with Nichol Kessinger and District Attorney Rourke and the investigation and all of these different issues. I also have in production, which should come out really soon. I'm almost done with it. And I really like making these videos for some reason. The influence of the MLM culture on this crime. And, part of the reason I think I really like it is I told you guys I've been involved in some MLMs. And the last one I did, I was like, I got you guys now. I know what you're doing. I get this. And so I went into it with the objective of just making as much money as I could. I still have a shitload of product for this company. It's Beauty Counter. If anyone needs any like lotion or mascara or like, tell me what kind of skin you have. I'm sure I can send you some lotion, because I had to, but I did this intentionally, do the same thing that I absolutely believe so many people do. And I know Shanann Watts did. And this ain't no shade on Shanann. It's what you have to do to like make your way in these companies. I had to buy a ton of products, way more than I would ever need. And did some of those products get purchased under not my name, but somebody else's name? Because that's what you had to do to like earn the commissions that they front load and put out there really fast and furious for you to kind of suck you in. And then all of a sudden that commission structure availability for you drops off, and you have to work really hard and you're making nothing. And that's when people start to get really disenchanted. And that's why the attrition rate and, MLMs is so high. People just can't stick with it, because it's not made for people to stick with it. It's made for really excited, enthusiastic people to come into the company and push out their products. And if like one of those like excited new people happens to just be really good at this, awesome. They can stay and maybe they'll make some money, but everyone else can go. Bring in the new crew. All right, ready, go, sell. Yeah, bonus trips, right? So that's what the company structure is designed to be. But I'm putting together, really like everything that I have on that topic video together. And then I really need to take a break from Watts for a little while, because I'm Watts saturated, and there's so many other great cases like really interesting cases going on right now that we need to be talking about. So that's just a little preview of what is ahead. Even though you didn't ask, hey, sometimes you get things you don't even have to ask for here. Isn't that great? All right, so I'm going to bring this into the stream. Oops, let's see. And welcome to everybody who is a new member. Thank you for gifting a membership, Honey Bun and Beth. Thank you for becoming a member. Welcome. Oops. Present. Let's see, which one should we do first? I know. There's kind of not really an option, actually. I want to make it make sense. Stop. No more preview. Okay. Let's see. I think this is it. Y'all, listen, when using the word bombshell, you see how it's in quotes, or bombshell evidence is in quotes. It's not clickbait. That's me saying, I know that bombshell or bombshell evidence, Mr. Michael Rourke, is bullshit, hence the quotes. So I just want to be really clear about that, because, I don't put out clickbait. I never have. I never would. I would just want, it would just be a little shameful. And sometimes I just get tired of hearing that. All right. Please don't buffer. Mr. Rourke. Oh, God, the face.
The decision was made about 4 days ago.
The decision to take the death penalty off the table in exchange for Christopher Watts' guilty plea to all 9 counts he was originally charged with, including first-degree murder of a child under 12, tampering with a deceased body, and unlawful termination of a pregnancy.
The Watts family murders. This is undoubtedly one of the most horrific crime stories of our era. Over 5 years has passed, and with each passing year, with each passing day, nothing about this case becomes more clear. Looking back on the investigation of this case and the prosecution of Chris Watts, you have to ask yourself, was anything ever meant to be clear? Was justice ever meant to be achieved? No.
Oh, good girl. Oh, I love it. Good job. High five, baby.
Understand. that something very wrong happened in the initial hasty investigation of this case. A case so horrific, the whole world began watching right away because the whole world wanted to know, how could a seemingly loving father do something so horrible? The very family members who trusted him, who counted on him, who relied on him, who loved him, and never questioned his love for them or his commitment to their family. Chris Watts took the lives of his wife, who was 15 weeks pregnant, his 4-year-old daughter, Bella Watts, his 3-year-old daughter, Cece Watts.
So I'm here with my little munchkins.
And the unborn baby that was going to be his very first son, baby Nichol Watts. This crime is so horrible. People either refuse to even learn about it, and once they turn their heads and their attention to the story of this crime, they seem to not be able to turn away. I dare to say it's impossible to overestimate the strength of feelings, of passion, of opinions that people have about this case. Many of us feel a unique and peculiar bond to this case, to the family, to the Watts family, because we can relate to them. With this true crime case more than any other, we have heard more people say that they feel a strong connection to the victims, to the family, and to the victims' family members who are still alive. You would think with a case as horrific as this, that law enforcement and the prosecutor's office would share the same passion for pursuing justice as does the public, for the victim's sake and for the family member's sake. I mean, when you just look at the basic elements of this case, the murder of a pregnant woman. And really, I just want to say, even for Nichol Kessinger's sake, because if a proper investigation had been done, she wouldn't have, and she was not guilty of anything and related to this crime, she wouldn't have had to go through all of the discomfort and grief and self-absorbed existentialism that she briefly went through. A 3-year-old and 4-year-old baby, and the way that the bodies were disposed of, it's absolutely egregious. There really aren't words that can describe how horrific this crime was. This is the kind of crime that causes us to put our faith and trust in the justice system and the prosecutor's office. Because after all, what more horrific crime could be committed by a human being? This is the kind of crime where if you give a crap about justice, you are going to make sure that the perpetrator of this crime is prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law, that all of them are. Meet District Attorney Michael Rourke. This is the man who accepted lip service as answers about this horrible crime that people to this day still cannot wrap their heads around. This is a district attorney who had no interest in pursuing complete justice for Shanann, Bella, Celeste, baby Nico, and their family members and friends.
Stop asking about it. She didn't have anything to do with it. She wasn't there that morning. She voluntarily cooperated with law enforcement. She provided us all the information. I'm not going to tell you where she's at. Stop. Leave me alone.
That was District Attorney Rourke commenting on Nichol Kessinger in March of 2023. The context is that he's on his wife's podcast, Survivor's Guide to True Crime, and he's scoffing about the popularity of the discovery files, saying that Weld County had to come up with a system to disseminate the discovery files, and kind of, so many people wanted to read the discovery files for this case. He said that it's as recently as last week that he received an email asking to open the case to investigate Nichol Kessinger, and says a moderate estimate is that his office has received 5,000 to 6,000 emails making that same request. Let's see what DA Rourke had to say about Chris Watts' mistress after his sentencing in November of 2018.
Can you give us a better idea of her role in the investigation, how forthcoming she was, and how she helped?
She originally came forward and spoke to investigators on her own volition. Prior to the time, unfortunately, that she came in and spoke with investigators, she had deleted all of the information off of her phone that had any connection between her and Chris Watts. That hampered the investigation. That hampered our ability to get that electronic digital connection between the two. She was interviewed on multiple occasions. I believe that for the most part, she was forthcoming.
It's clear that there are some major discrepancies between what District Attorney Rourke said in 2018 after the sentencing and then what he said most recently in his wife's podcast in March of 2023. In his most recent recollection, he says that she came forth voluntarily and she was forthcoming with the information that she gave to investigators. Yet in 2018, after Chris Watts' sentencing, he said that she hampered the investigation by not giving investigators all of the information. And then he says that he believes that she was forthcoming for the most part. Very different statements, Rourke. We know the truth about Nichol Kessinger, and we know which of his statements is the accurate one, the 2018 statement or the 2023 statement. And the accurate statement is the 2018 statement, and it's an understatement because we know Nichol. I should have said the more accurate statement. That was kind of misspeak. Neither of them are accurate. The more accurate statement. Kessinger obstructed justice by destroying evidence. We know this hampered the investigation, and we know that she was absolutely, completely not at all forthcoming with investigators. Not at all, not whatsoever. But let's go ahead and set aside the mistress for a moment and just look at what happened with Chris Watts' plea deal. Now, first of all, it is not the district attorney's office that put that plea on the table and forced the defense and Chris Watts, the defender himself, to consider whether or not he wanted to take it and what it would cost him to take that plea deal and what he would be gaining as an advantage, which is normally how a plea deal works. What happened was the defense put this plea deal on the table, and let's be clear about it. It was District Attorney Rourke who accepted this plea deal unconditionally, without any conditions whatsoever. Over the course of the 3 years that I've had this channel, I'm sorry, I just had to say, because you know what, I didn't realize that, Stevie. I'm so glad you said that. Stevie said, today's the anniversary of when Nichol Kessinger gave Chris Watts the key to her apartment. Hey, well, guess what else today is the anniversary of? The day that Chris Watts deleted his Facebook account. And that was also the day after the family returned home to Colorado after being in North Carolina. Chris, Shanann, Bella, and Cece. And, oh, that's what tomorrow night's, or I'm sorry, it's going to be Saturday night. Darn it, Saturday night. The video that I'm just keep waiting to put out, and hopefully, you know, like the devil won't strike it down again. But come hell or high water, it's happening Saturday night around 9. Right there is what is central to a lot of the really big critical points that we are going to be pulling out when we watch that video on Saturday. I'm so glad you said that, because I didn't realize that was the day she gave him a key. That's really interesting. I've talked to a number of attorneys about this issue because it's always burn my ass, quite frankly. Why did District Attorney Rourke not make Chris Watts tell them what happened when he decided to accept the plea deal that Chris Watts and his team put on the table? Why did he accept that plea deal without condition? This is from the Law and Crime Network. There are some odd things about the circumstances surrounding the plea deal Chris Watts struck with prosecutors, according to Law and Crime Network's host and former Morris County, New Jersey prosecutor Bob Bianchi, head prosecutor. Circumstances that he would never have allowed to happen under his watch. Quote, I finally found the video from 2018 of Bob Bianchi actually saying all of this too, and it just comes across better. I'm really excited about that, and it's in the video we'll watch Saturday night. What I do find to be unusual in this case is that I would have required a proffer session with the defendant where he would have sat down. In order to be spared the death penalty, he would have had to spill the beans on everything from A to Z. We would have known what the motive is, which we don't know right now, and he would have had to have clearly allocated to court to go up and say, this is why I did it. Or a district attorney is doing their thing in the pretrial phase or in trial. They are doing their thing, hopefully, for the sake ultimately of justice on behalf of the victims and, of course, taking the family's wishes into account. And part of that job is finding justice for the people that they serve, the public who needs answers, who demand answers, who deserve answers to these horrific crimes. After all, this is how our justice system is founded. It's justice for the people and by the people. Did you hear that? For the people. Crime in a society is a very real thing to everybody in that society, not just those who are immediately impacted by that crime. And there are reasons that human beings need answers when such horrible, egregious things happen, like they did in this tragic case of the Watts family. The public, yes, does deserve answers. Here is District Attorney Rourke talking about this case and the decision he had to make in his wife's podcast in March of 2023.
Back to the night where I come home from work, I know that we're contemplating seeking the death penalty. And as the elected DA, that's my decision. That's not anybody else's. I'm going through a process of talking to law enforcement.
He's just, you know what, listen, the way he talks, just the way he phrases things and the tone he uses, not even in regards to just this case, even when he was talking about the other case in his wife's podcast. I can't remember the name now. Gosh, I know I've heard about that case plenty before too. Anyway, you know, he sounds like such a child. He's like, it's my job to do, this is mine. And, you know, just leave me alone. Like, come on. Can somebody find him a goddamn opponent?
Enforcement, community leaders, my own commissioners for budget reasons, her family, like I have talked about, senior leadership in my office, and my wife.
All right. I want you to listen to that again because I interrupted it because I was griping about him talking like a child. Let me go back a little bit, though, because I think it's important when he just mentions who he talks about when he has to make a decision, because it's his decision. It's a death penalty decision. It's his. These are the people he talks to or he goes to for counsel and advice. Tragic case of the Watts family. The public, yes, does deserve answers. Here is District Attorney Rourke.
Reasons. From work, I know that we're contemplating seeking the death penalty. And as the elected DA, that's my decision. That's not anybody else's. I'm going through a process of talking to law enforcement, community leaders, my own commissioners for budget reasons, her family, like I have talked about, senior leadership in my office, and my wife, because there's a recognition that this is the ultimate decision I have to make.
So he talks to family members of the victims, senior leaders in his office, the financial people. Did you catch that? And his wife. Seriously? His wife? I think that was such an unprofessional thing to say. I can't get over who this person really is. It's just, he's the Honorable District Attorney, Michael J. Rourke. That's who he is.
Going to take somebody's life if litigation goes the way it should in this case.
So the gravity of this case is impending on District Attorney Rourke, and he consults, fellow law enforcement personnel that worked on this case, people that had to do with budget decisions, the victim's family, and we're going to come right back to that, and his wife. Well, isn't that good to know? Now, discussing what District Attorney Rourke had to say about Shanann Rusick's parents had to say about pursuing the death penalty or not, the story changed from what had been told all along to, again, what District Attorney Rourke had to say in this podcast that came out of March 2023. When this podcast came out, people were astonished to find out that District Attorney Rourke said when he was talking to the family in North Carolina, the decision was essentially split. And it was Frank Rusick that did not want to go after the death penalty, meaning it was Sandy Rusick who ultimately wanted initially, until, in my opinion, District Attorney Rourke talked her out of it. And you can decide that for yourself. I'm going to play some sound clips here. She wanted the death penalty until she was ultimately talked out of it.
Steve Wren, my chief deputy, and I flew to North Carolina and went to Shanann's parents' house to sit down with them in their living room to talk to them about the process, what they wanted to see happen, the realities of death penalty litigation in Colorado. And that's just not something you can have a conversation over the phone about. Ultimately, the outcome of that was a split. I mean, one parent wanted the death penalty. The other, Shanann's father, wanted us to make sure that this defendant never saw the light of day. And ultimately, he did plead guilty to everything we charged him with.
Now, damn, he threw Sandy Rusick under the bus there. He really did. I don't know if this is so not important to him. He doesn't really remember how the conversation actually goes down or how he presented to the world that the conversation went down. But what he said right there, just flip-flopped it. And that was really fucked up towards Sandy Rusick, if you ask me. Not cool. How such a decision is arrived at and what is said behind closed doors and then how it is portrayed to the public may really not be any of our business. And I can certainly admit to that. But what I do think is our business is how this case was treated altogether, big picture, throughout by District Attorney Rourke. When he, in March of 2018, all of a sudden came out and offered that information that flew in the face of everything everybody had been told about why the death penalty was not sought, it was because Sandy Rusick, in her big heart and all of her grace, did not want death for Chris Watts, or she did not want to make that decision on his life that he made for her family. And I don't judge her at all. However she felt about the situation, my gosh, bless her heart. There is no judgment at all from me. But and Green Eye Bandit, I just want to say I am so very sorry. Please let me know if you need anything, if there's anything the channel can do for you now or in the future. I'm really very sorry to hear that. And we're here for you. I'm glad you're here. Out in a podcast in March of 2018, over 5 years after this tragedy occurred, and kind of flip the script was a little bit strange. Now here is Mrs. Sandra Rusick, Shanann's mother, speaking at the sentencing hearing in November of 2018. You'll just notice that what she says here, although I believe absolutely heartfelt and our hearts go out to you, Mrs. Rusick, is different than what District Attorney Rourke had to say in 2023 about how the parents felt regarding whether to pursue the death penalty or not.
I want the world to know that our daughter and her children were so loved by us. They will always be protected by God and his mighty angels. I didn't want death for you because that's not my right. Your life is between you and God now, and I pray that he has mercy for you.
And now listen to District Attorney Rourke talk about the final piece of the sentencing agreement, which is the plea deal that he accepted, that Chris Watts and his defense team put out there. And it's that Chris Watts won't face the death penalty. But, he goes from A to Z and skips everything from B to Y in the middle. He doesn't want people to ask, well, why did you not hold Chris Watts accountable? Why did you not put a condition on accepting the plea that he so willingly put out there? And in my opinion, he puts the hook on the Rusick family while he's peddling a political agenda and really paying no mind to justice in this case. This has always bothered me so incredibly much. And it always will. And we talked before several times at least about the fact that the political climate in Colorado at that time and what was going on in various jurisdictions in the state as a whole. And, with the issue of the death penalty in that state, there was nobody that was, putting their bets on the death penalty was going to stick around past the end of the year. Literally nobody. It didn't matter what political party you were affiliated with, if you lived in a giant house or under a rock, or if you snowboarded or skied or mountain biked. Those are all very Colorado things. It was very clear. It was basically already decided that it was gone. So, it's really just, I don't know. I think when you're talking about something as important as somebody's life and lives that were taken from 3 people and, this horrible crime, to use as leverage something that is like sort of not real anyway. I don't know. I guess I kind of go back to the feeling I have that this man is always playing little kid games. Like, he eats his pudding with his hands and gets it all over his face and then wants a kissy from Kim. And then they talk about if they're going to put someone to death or not. It just really turns my stomach.
Final piece of the sentencing agreement calls for the district attorney's office, myself, to agree that as a result of his plea of guilty, that he will not face the death penalty. I know that there are going to be a lot of questions about that, so let me address that right up front. Present here in the room with us today is Frank Rusick, Sandra Rusick, and Frank Rusick Jr., Shanann's brother, mom and dad. Mr. Wren and I flew out to North Carolina about 3 weeks ago and spent quite a bit of time with the Rusick family talking about the state of the death penalty in Colorado, the realities of the death penalty. We explained to them the extraordinary delays that currently exist in the state of Colorado as the result of, in part, the actions of our current governor. We discussed the fact that an individual by the name of Nathan Dunlap was convicted and sentenced to death in 1996 and is still alive today. We discussed all of the possible consequences, delays.
And with Nathan Dunlap, that had very much to do with individual circumstances and details of his case. Although in any state, convicted inmates on death row get an average of something like 13 steps of appeal before, it's always a long process. I mean, this is not, this is false use of logic, and he does it all the time. That sounds like a really big deal out of context. But when you put it in context with every other death penalty case in Colorado and across the United States where the death penalty still exists, it's like, kind of typical. Like, doesn't he have anything like real to put out there? That's so concerning to me.
His penalties, timeframes, and I hope I'm saying this accurately. I know they'll correct me if I am wrong, but they were very strongly in favor of a resolution in this case, short of the death penalty.
If you're the one guy in the world who's been entrusted with the responsibility of securing justice for Shanann, Bella, Celeste, and baby Nico, but your heart's just not really in it for some reason, well, at least we all know that you have some meaningful connection to those precious victims who lost their lives far too soon in the most horrible way one can think of at the hands of somebody that they loved and trusted. In this excerpt you're about to hear from the podcast, A Survivor's Guide to True Crime, District Attorney Rourke is talking about why he did not show up at Cervi 319, why he did not go to the actual scene of the crime, or at least the scene where the bodies were found, and why he did not want to actually see with his own eyes the horror that was caused when this crime was committed. And in doing so, he remarks about seeing some of the Facebook videos that so many of us have seen that Shanann proudly put on her Facebook page, where you got to get a little inside look into the lives of Shanann, Bella, and Celeste. Hear what he has to say about that. This should piss everyone off too.
Bella and Celeste were, like I said, 3 and 4-year-old little girls with very long, glowing blonde hair who liked to run around the living room, dance, sing, and do cartwheels. We knew that because we had some social media posts that Shanann had put on her Facebook page or Instagram, one of them. And so I watched those, and I saw those little girls. And my own daughter at the time was about that same age. Long blonde hair, doing cartwheels in my living room, despite the fact she knows that's a family rule not to. And there was an immediate connection that I felt with those little girls because of my daughter.
This case was so... Ain't no one ever seen either of those girls do a cartwheel, I guarantee it. And long blonde hair is just so ignorant. So extraordinary, both in the career history of District Attorney Michael Rourke and in the history of, crime occurring in the world. It's hard to understand how that went wrong with this case after this horrible crime happened. The injustice that lingers and looms around this case is unacceptable. It's hard to even imagine an alternate universe where we could say, damn, oh my God, what a horrible crime. Well, at least we know the investigators left no stone unturned, and the people responsible for that were prosecuted to the fullest. There would be some sense of peace. Instead of getting that sense of justice and peace that we long for after seeing something so horrific happening, we don't get justice and peace, and rather we're left with things like this.
Yeah, I'm trying. I'm really trying to help you guys. I need you guys to help me too. Like,
Yes,
we'll
ma'am.
do this as a team, but just don't.
So
fucking let me down,
the
please.
reason why we can't, like, I think I did think about this yesterday, that I would like to sit down with you once we have your text messages and the phone calls, and we can put them in some type of easily looking, that we can sit down and look at them and compare them, and we can kind of get the context of how everything was going that night. I would like to do that with you. Unfortunately, so the download that we got yesterday is going to take multiple days to be analyzed. I probably won't have it back till next week. And then because you guys did have so many text messages, one of my analysts is working on getting those in order, so we can put something together where we can actually sit down and discuss it. But I do think that's something that I want to do in the near future, sometime probably next week.
I mean, I can do that. I don't mind giving you guys my time. I just need you guys to like help me with my employer and try to just help me brace for this media thing.
I'm with you. We definitely need to accelerate the case, because the more it takes, the less sure that they are of situations.
He murdered her. She's out of the picture. You're never going to know if she was pregnant. If he can get away with murder, you're not going to. I got divorced from my wife. You say, do you understand what I'm saying here? If she's gone,
Don't lead.
Hypothetically,
please.
Yeah.
Don't lead on.
Hypothetically, if she, you understand where I'm going. If
Right,
you
but
didn't know,
you're leading into questions that are nothing with your.
if you didn't know though,
Wait, Nick,
that she was there.
did you hear what I said?
I'm following you.
Stop asking about it. She didn't have anything to do with it. She wasn't there that morning. She voluntarily cooperated with law enforcement. She provided us all the information. I'm not going to tell you where she's at. Stop. Leave me alone.
Oh my God. As I've talked about extensively in a number of videos on this channel, and many other people have talked about and well know, the investigation in this horrible case was lackluster. There were definite problems. Here's an example of one of those problems. While we are left with a lot of questions about the way that Nichol Kessinger was treated, the things that she said, and the way that she interacted with her interviewer, CBI's Kevin Kobach, we did not have answers to things that were right within our grasp in the name of justice for the victims. One of these examples is the way that Chris Watts' truck was thought about and was handled in the investigation. In the discovery, it is noted that Jane, the dog handlers... Okay, well, we went over this on Monday, so I'm not going to torch you with it again. I forgot I put it in that video. It's better than the other one I played on Monday too, but that's okay. Just a little bit better. A letter to the CBI, Bureau of Investigations, Data and Evidence Analysis team, asking for several items to be analyzed among the evidence that had been collected in the investigation. All of the items from Chris Watts' work truck were refused for analysis the very next day on September 4th, 2018. When I realized the dates that this happened, it absolutely blew my mind. Do you remember that DC primetime? That like clicked for me. I just remember we were in a live stream and I was talking to you about it. And it was shocking. It was shocking. It still is shocking. And since September 3rd and September 4th are just about 3 weeks after the tragedy occurred, and Chris Watts did not plea until November. So what were they doing? Refusing any kind of evidence related to this horrible, tragic crime. especially having to do with Chris Watts' workshop. What are they hiding? It's funny how at certain benchmark times after this horrible crime was committed, certain things went missing. For example, from Shanann Watts' Facebook page, certain things were no longer able to be located a short time after this tragedy, and then additional things as time went on. Things are not able to be located through even the most thorough of web searches when you try to find information out in a general information search on the internet. It's really strange. It seems that some things, including Chris Watts' mistress herself, when completely and fully missing, poof, vanished from the face of the earth. These are some of the posts from Shanann Watts to her Facebook page that were made on August 12, 2018 that you cannot find now. They went missing very shortly after this tragedy happened. Ready to get home to Chris and the girls, she wrote around 3 p.m. on August 12th, the day before the murders, while she was in Arizona on her Thrive trip. And then at 5:20 p.m., she wrote, same day, August 12th, felt the baby move twice this weekend. I wonder why these posts were scrubbed from the internet shortly after this tragedy happened. They've been removed from the history books. I'm sure whoever removed them, and for the reason they were removed, they certainly hoped that nobody was going to continue to look into these issues, to try to find the things that were hidden by, well, who hid them anyway? Well, wait, good question. When we do the research, let me pause. It's a good question. That I think I know the answer. I'll tell you what I do know. Where did that question go? Where did it go? I started. Well, who was it that asked, could Shanann's family have removed some of the posts from the internet? Oh, there we go. Hey, Maggie, how are you doing? I was watching a really old live stream the other day from this channel, and you were on panel. We were talking about, the possibility of Asperger's autism. I remember, and I just like loved what you had to say so much. I had forgotten about that particular live stream. I was trying to get information for something else, but I just wanted to let you know that. Okay, I'm sorry. I digress. So could Shanann's parents have pulled some of them down off the internet? So what we do know is that they had her Facebook account memorialized. So, it preserved, things as they were, and people could comment in a way where you can tell the comments weren't contemporaneous with the posts, but rather after someone passes and the Facebook is memorialized. And, even in that memorialization of the Facebook account, it's lacking a lot of Facebook posts and videos that were there. When I was, grabbing stuff for this case, it wasn't even for my channel, it was for a degree I was working on. And then I started to think about doing a channel, having no idea this was all going to happen. But thank you guys. I'm so honored you guys are here. And I started to hear weird conversations about her Facebook content. I freaking made a copy of everything and put in the cloud. So when, they did eventually memorialize it, I could look at everything that was there, and I still don't have all of it. And then everything that existed after it. And there was a major, major difference. Major difference, like huge difference. And I have considered making a video that shows you the ones that were somehow just excluded from the memorialization of the Facebook page. But I really feel like that could be a step towards getting my channel in some seriously hot water. So it's just not going to happen. But I don't know. Yeah, it's not going to happen. Comparisons over time. We can see what items went missing, when, and not always where, but we can start to put all those pieces back together. I personally believe it's relatively clear why specific things went missing at certain times, since the morning of August 13th, 2018. I'll tell you one thing, things start to look very interesting when you closely examine what exists, what has been hidden, and what has been altered, what has been destroyed. You may or may not know that on page 283 of the redacted discovery, there is an evidence collection log that records the collection of the interview of Nichol Kessinger.
Y'all probably know this
from,
by now.
Remember,
About
this
every
horrible
live stream.
tragedy that took the lives of Shanann, Bella, Celeste, and unborn baby Nico happened on Monday, August 13th. So this is 2 days after. Nichol Kessinger had just given her first interview to the FBI on that day, on the 15th, in a park near her house with her doggie and her daddy both present. On this document, it states under the details, recorded interview of Nichol Kessinger, parentheses, and in all capital letters, protect identity, and parentheses, on August 15th, 2018. We're going to talk more about that. So listen, I believe that Chris Watts is completely guilty and he deserves to be in prison for the rest of his life, the rotten bastard, taking the lives of these beautiful people as family members. There aren't even words and nobody can comprehend what happened. What I have come to believe more and more as time passes is that his mistress, Nichol Kessinger, is somehow involved in this tragedy. And we already know, Kessinger, that she committed crimes in the investigation of this case straight away. She admits it herself.
So I removed it.
So you already said, but you removed text messages.
I deleted all of his stuff.
Yet investigators played softball with her, underhand pitches, every single question they asked for the entire duration of the interviews, for the entire duration of the 5 interviews she underwent with the FBI and Colorado's CBI. What exists in discovery, combined with what we learned about Kessinger's actions and behaviors in the days following the tragedy and what she was trying to hide while she was being interviewed by law enforcement, when we compare what is known to be true and the stories that she clearly made up when she was being interviewed, shows us that she is likely somehow involved in this horrible, horrible tragedy. And what does not appear in discovery may indicate her guilt even more so than what is in that discovery document within the 1,960 pages. So here's what's real funny about the discovery. There are a lot of important events missing from the date August 12th, 2018. That is the day before Shanann, Bella, Celeste, and unborn baby Nico were murdered in the wee early morning hours of Monday, August 13th.
Now, I know that I've been like really hammering on this point for like a few months now, as we're coming at these topics from different angles, that there are these critical events that are missing. And I'm sure I'm going to mention what they are in this video that I'm playing right now, because I just, because I'm sure that's because we all know me, I'm going to do it. So, again, the video that we're going to be watching together on Saturday is another critical point to the pieces that we're able to pull together based on, just basic knowledge of this case to guide you, right? And then NK, particularly in that last interview, where she's just so nasty about her best friend, that girl's my life, man, Charlotte, whose father just died. And she says, I told her, Charlotte, like, being mad at me is not going to get your dad back. And other horrible things. And then she's like, and I found a box of Lucky Charms. That interview. All of these big central issues that, I've been talking about for a long time, I'm sure other people do too, are all going to come together. And I just can't wait to, I need to talk to somebody about this, guys, because I think it's a really big deal. And that person is going to be you and you and you and all you guys. Can't wait. It is a critical day, and there are so many critical details that are missing, from Shanann Watts' deleted post to Nichol Kessinger's conversations with other people
people besides Chris Watts and the 111-minute phone conversation between Chris Watts and Nichol Kessinger, even though the very first item, can you believe this, in the official discovery timeline is about Nichol Kessinger. It says on September 7th, 2017.
And she searched for Shanann Watts. Another thing, and I guess I don't mention it in this particular video, another thing that's missing from that timeline is the phone conversation with Charlotte, or that text exchange that, is made a big deal about over the course of 3 different interviews, particularly in that last one that happened on guess what? The day before the murder, hours before the murders, is apparently when she told her best friend, dude, that girl's my life, man, about Chris Watts, this guy that she was so obviously super into in a kind of way. She just happened to tell her best friend about her new boyfriend that she's planning on marrying and having his child, well, his son particularly. She just mentioned that to her best friend. Happens to be the day before the murders, literally hours before the murders. Also, literally just hours or minutes before that freaking 111-minute phone call begins. That is crazy.
Nichol Kessinger Google searched the name Shanann Watts. Damn. This is a full 9 months before Nichol Kessinger and Chris Watts maintained that they even met at Anadarko. How is this possible? This question has been asked so many times, and DA Rourke confirmed that search, in fact, happened. The appearance of that search as the first item on the official discovery timeline is a result of the forensic download of Nichol Kessinger's phone done by the FBI. It's a fact. And nobody can answer the question, why was she searching for Shanann Watts on September 1st of 2017? It must be important since it is the very first item in the official discovery timeline. I mean, come on. Seriously. In the eyes of the investigators, it must mean that's when this whole horrible event and the information connected to it really began. That's where we need to start looking. It's the starting point. The starting point is Nichol Kessinger searching for Shanann Watts in September of 2017. My God, that's just incredible. And they let her walk free.
And also, in addition to why that is so important, is the person who authored that timeline. And oh gosh, I could go in a million different directions. All they're important right now. But the person who authored that timeline was Michael Prill, who was really the only detective that we got any sense of it in that whole discovery. We got a sense he knew what was up with NK, and he was going for it. In the part 1 of the video, for which I'm playing the part 2 on Saturday, I needed a more concise title for it, but I didn't do it. So now it's just part 1 too. I talk about how Michael Prill's, summary narrative before the discovery timeline says, well, obviously paraphrasing, okay, I happened to come across in the search of Chris Watts' phone some image file that wasn't in his images like they normally would be, and so he did some deep nerdy curious digging into that, and he found that the origin of it was from a third party, the calculator app. Look at that. So he's like, well, and guess what, there was a mother load of naked skanky make me gag empanada pictures in this phone, but they were all hidden. So what we're going to do now is apply for, obtain, and execute a search warrant of the phones that is going to allow us to excavate so deep into those phones, especially the Apple phones were the ones that were problematic, that wouldn't allow you to have access to anything third party like that. So we can find out what kind of shit is really in those phones. You can break your SIM card, bitch, skanky empanada, but guess what? Forensic technology is always going to bite you in the ass, right? And then, ironically, a week later, District Attorney Rourke accepts Chris Watts' plea deal. I absolutely believe, because I have reason to believe, that he did not want that search to happen, because we all know what would have been found. We don't know exactly. Well, we do know exactly a mother load of naked, skanky and pinata pictures. And we know that they were also communicating through or plural third-party apps. There's no doubt about it. What would that have uncovered? What kind of conversations would that have uncovered? What kind of evidence would that have uncovered? District Attorney Rourke did not want to know. He went home to his wife and he told her, I peed my pants today because I'm so afraid that they're going to fight. We've got to take a plea deal. Is that okay with you, wife? And she was like, yes, but no death penalty, okay? And he's like, okay, got it. Okay. Where's my baba?
Although Nichol Kessinger's name is littered throughout the discovery timeline, starting with September 1st, 2017, and she appears in it all the way through, her name literally appears scores of times in that discovery timeline until, remarkably, Saturday, August 11th, 2018. The last mention of Nichol Kessinger until her mentioning goes dark the following day, that Sunday, August 12th, the day before the murders, is a search that she made after she and Chris went out on a date to the Lazy Dog restaurant, one location, and then another. That timeline entry states at 22:04 hours, so that's 10:04 p.m., having concluded her evening tryst with Watts, Kessinger searched the internet on topics like Chris Watts, Shanann Watts, Ronnie Watts, and 2825 Saratoga Trail. And then, all of a sudden, on Sunday, August 12th, Nichol Kessinger disappears from the discovery timeline.
That's crazy, right? And before I forget, because I've already been meaning to tell you guys this, because guess what happened?
Not to be mentioned, not even once.
Not even once. Stevie says, hey, Stevie, how are you doing? It's crazy what is missing in the recent copies of the discovery compared to the first discovery that came out. Absolutely it is. Last week I made a video that had the NK like discovery files in it, which were the picture files were from her phone, and they were not, I don't know if they were in the I don't know, but they were there for longer. But then it also had the phone data file with the phone bill for the relevant time that we would want to look at a phone bill for, like, looking into this case, which was July 14th to August 13th. And then very soon thereafter, it was swapped out for a bill that was from August 14th to September 13th, right? Well, guess what? YouTube took it down in less than 30 minutes. I never get videos taken down. That live stream a couple weeks ago, because I was playing too much of like Oxygen Channel's content without pausing and grunting frequently enough. And that was pretty much my fault. I get it. I never had that happen before, but that was my fault. I was just really into reading your comments, but I don't ever get videos taken down by YouTube. Those two, before that, I can't even remember. I mean, like when, what's his face? We don't even go there, but I like that never happens. So that was really strange to me that I put that, and I put it up there for all of you to have, or so other creators could have it. I don't know if it's hard. I just wanted people to have it because it's important information. And I know it is getting more and more difficult to get that important information that was quickly eliminated, upon demand or doing of the district attorney's office. So I just wanted the world to have that and have easy access to it. Nope. Unless I can tell you how long it was. It looks like between 26 and 27 minutes after I put that video up, it was just stripped by YouTube. What do you guys think about that? I'm going to keep playing this because it's almost over. And then I would like to know what you guys think about that.
Conspicuously missing is the 111-minute phone conversation between Watts and Kessinger that Kevin Kobach asked her about over the course of his 4 interviews with her, the 2 video recorded ones, the police station, and the 2 ones that were had over the telephone. He asked about that conversation a total of 9 times throughout those 4 interviews. 9 times, at least, as far as I could count. And it's very likely that I missed him mentioning it at some point because there's hours upon hours upon hours of interviews with Nichol Kessinger. He asked her about that conversation 9 times. 9 times. Investigators also asked Chris Watts about that 111-minute phone conversation. That conversation was so important in the minds of law enforcement that when Tammy Lee, Graham Coder, and Dave Baumhover visited Chris Watts in February of 2019 after he had started serving his time in prison after he was sentenced to 4 life sentences.
So let's hear what Chris Watts and his former mistress, Nichol Kessinger, have to say about that 111-minute phone conversation that was much longer than any other phone conversation they had ever had. Notice how they use a lot of the same
language, the same words. Let's first go to Tammy Lee and Graham Coder questioning or interrogating Chris Watts on August 15th, 2018, before.
I'm going to skip this, guys, because I think we've all heard this a million times. So I didn't realize how this video is getting a little bit. I think the end of it is just these interview clips that we've heard before. And while it is entertaining, I want to ask Ara's question because I have videos about every year of Shanann's Facebook stuff. Oh, God, I shouldn't even say it out loud. I feel like I don't know. I made him put him up a long time ago. I think if I put him up now, I don't think it would fly. So Ara asks, what was going on in Shanann's in September of 2017 in Shanann's Facebook? Well, Ara, interesting you should ask because I can provide you an answer to that question. Just give me a moment. Let's see. Playlists. You have a playlist called I saw some people asking about this on like Reddit too, and some of you said, oh, Watts the Obsession has that, and I do. So the playlist is just Shanann Watts Facebook posts and more. And you know what? I'm going to narrow that down because there's 42 videos on here. I don't even know what the and more is, but I'm going to make a separate one after this live stream. It'll be super easy to do. That'll just be the Facebook post by year because that's a little more organized for you and it might be more helpful. Oh my gosh, my son's being really loud. Video gaming. So, sorry, I'm not used to searching playlists. So, okay, wait. I think I get it. New, yes, new, yes. Okay. Go to YouTube Studio to playlists and then videos on the left-hand side to find out the videos in the playlist. Okay, got it. So you said September of 2017. I wonder what was going on Shanann's Facebook page then, because we know she would have seen it. So I know I have a 2017 Facebook video. I just got to find it. Everybody take a little breather. Breathe in, breathe out. Something like that. Is this 2016 or 17? It's 2016. Oh, Bella's so cute. I love Bella. Everybody knows I love Bella. Never mind. I'm not going to go into what I was just going to say. Redacted. See. Okay, it's gonna be on the next page. Sorry, guys. It's kind of hard to like. It's like looking through a lot of videos. You know what? Okay, I'm going to, does anyone want to come up on panel and say anything? I'm going to put the link up if anyone would like to. And then just be patient with me for another moment, please. I'm just gonna search YouTube for Shanann Watts Facebook post 2017, and I'm gonna bet I will find my own video. All right. Yep. But that one's not 2017. Stupid. Oh, here. I don't think I include this in the Facebook or in the playlist, so now I am. Okay. Okay. Right. All right. I think that this video is going to be set up in a way where we're going to be able to find out the answer to that. Oh, hey, Ara. How are you doing, darling?
Hey, Miss Kelly. How are you? I'm doing well.
Hey, good. How are you doing? Great to see you.
It's always good to do a discussion of Watts.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Especially after, well, I mean, I don't know. I'm not really up to date with the whole Chris now alleging that the mistress helped him.
No, it's not new. It's not new. It's not new. You already know about it. Yeah.
Yeah, but people are just like blowing it up now, like if it's something different. So that's it. But again, there's more interest on the case now.
That's a good thing, though. It's just because, because Law and Crime Network picked it up, and so a lot of people heard about it, which is great. Like, I don't feel like that's old. You guys are a bunch of losers. You aren't all obsessed with it. Like, I do not feel that way at all. I think it's great. But yes. you do know all about it, though.
Yeah, okay. I was hoping it wasn't like something just crazy that popped up that we're missing now. Yeah, I'm like, what the heck is going on? I leave for a little while. What's going on?
Yeah, no, you're good. You're good. So here, do you have anything else you wanted to say in particular? Well,
I was going to say, because you're addressing this question, thank you for doing that. I didn't mean to interrupt what you were already doing.
No, it's a good question.
But I can't remember what was going on. It would have had to be the end of August.
Horrible lighting.
Yeah.
You're so silly. Say hi,
right?
Ruby.
Something would have been happening around the end of August for her to search her on the 1st of September.
Mm-hmm.
So it would have to be around that time. And I don't remember what was going on.
Okay.
Unless you do at the top of your head.
Well, Shanann just had her neck surgery. Christina was staying with her around that time. I don't know the exact month, but it was around that time. Well, let's take a look here. Okay. So let's start. We'll start with, let's see.
Gotta say hi to everybody.
Oops. You gotta say hi to everybody. We know. Okay. Let's see. Go back. Oops.
Say hi to everybody. Oops. What do you got on your face? Yogurt?
Aw. Leave her yogurt face alone. She's so cute. I'm sure she didn't mean any harm. But she gets self-conscious so easily, All right.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, here we are. I mean, I don't really know. So now I'm looking at like the whole year now. Okay. So, but all right. Okay. I know. Okay. So, it was a very sick year in the Watts house for the girls. And then they went on some trip in Shanann and Chris in February. And the grandparents stayed with Bella and Cece, and then so there's Shanann. Or did I pass this yet? Can you see it or no? No. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay. So all right. So when is that? That is February something. February 17th. And then she's on her first Thrive vacation, which I'll be telling you in my Thrive video. I found out all about this vacation. We're not going to talk about that right now because I'll go on tangent.
But that's her first Thrive one?
No, it's not actually. Her first one was Dominican. I think I just got that wrong for a minute there. Yeah. Okay. So now I'm just going to let this play. Or else I'll get the little tag and pop it.
What do you got on your face? Yogurt? Let me help you. You can't get through that. Let me help you, please.
This is in May.
All right. In a minute, she's going to ask for help.
Or
So
March.
I just wanted to tell
Oh, yeah, this
everybody
one's
how
out of
grateful
place.
I am for my husband. He's
Chronologically.
super supportive of business, helping me, growing his team.
That's going to be, whoops, sorry.
The vision.
Oh, that was August 28th, where
My
you just.
husband, he's
Yeah.
super supportive of business, helping me, growing his team. He's really.
Why can't I see the dates? Because I have them so you can see it. Let me see if I have something wrong with the way I sized. Oh, yeah, it's the way I sized it here. Okay, hold it. Okay. That should be better. Okay, so this is from July. This is from Cece's birthday of that year. I meant to put them in chronological order, guys. Sometimes that just gets really hard and tedious. So there's some of them are in chronological order, but this is July 17th, 2017 right here.
Yeah.
And she's just, singing happy birthday to her sweet little.
Sees the vision. And oh, now you need help. What do you say? Please. Okay. He really sees.
Now this is
the
August
one.
28th. Yeah. Late
Yes.
dinner with my amazing, supportive hubby. He rocks.
Yep.
And I couldn't imagine life without him.
Yes.
Boss couple, thriving couple, power couple forever. And then it's 3 days later when Skanky Empanada is Googling Shanann.
Isn't that so interesting? She's putting up these posts that, I mean, I know that women celebrate their husbands on social media, but Shanann did it overly so more than I've seen most people do even to this day, and especially with the hashtags and everything. So I wonder, makes me wonder if she was eyeing him already at that time.
Oh, I think it's very possible. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's a great point. I mean, I remember looking at these before, but I can't remember exactly what they were either. So no, you can't see the
Something must have had. What is still the unanswered question is what triggered her to search Shanann, not Chris. And I had like a crazy theory back then that was like maybe she had already met Chris and she wanted to see who the wife was.
Right. Yeah. Very possible.
Because she didn't search him. She searched her.
Right. Oh yeah. No, that's good thinking. That's totally very possible. Yeah. Now this all gets into early September, which I'm sure she was still checking her out, so she's seeing all this. We know she is because she's the Skanky Empanada.
She sees all of that.
Yeah, she sees everything. I mean,
Yeah.
there's so much. There's enough evidence of that, and that it was information that this channel accessed a while back that isn't general information. I don't put it in writing anymore because I got in trouble for it. But not writing, but in video or anything. It is. I believe it was the exact number. I might be like flip flopping the 3 and the 5 or the 5 and the 5. But it was either 236 pages of additional Google searches that they extracted from NK's computer. There was a total of 236 pages, and like each of those pages is listing like, I don't know, 20 or 50 or 100. I don't know how many really, and that would make a big difference. Or it's 253. I can't remember, a little like dyslexic there, but it's around 250 pages that they got from her search. Oh, wait, I'm gonna have to look at my notes. I'm not saying this correctly because what is actually the fact is pretty shocking. I'm going to look that up.
That would be very interesting to get kind of get that point of view from you, because I don't know. DC says something in the chat, and I do recall this, but it's been a couple years. But was it that random person that was coming up and saying that she was NK's niece or something like that, or I don't know that. But see, this is all alleged now, rumor that Chris had been introduced to NK at a 4th of July firework thing.
Yeah.
And was that 2017?
I do not know. Honestly, I don't know. So let's think about this. Another so that I might. I don't know. Honestly, I want to say I'd imagine it would be, but why would I think it would be that over the 2016? I just really don't know. Because I think that I just really don't know. Actually, every thought I have is just pure speculation. And then there's another theory that I think is possible. That NK and Chris met in the gym when Shanann's parents were staying with Shanann and Chris for 17 months. And so that would be around the time that Cece was born, because that's what they were there for. And Cece was born on, July 17th of 2000. Bella was born 13. So Cece was born in 2015. So that would have brought him into 2016. Yeah. So yeah, I really don't know then. Yeah.
And then there was talk that she was targeting men at gyms or something. I mean, she spends a lot of time at the gym, but that would make sense.
That's right. Somebody came on to like Zav Girl or something. And I think it was
Yes.
Zav Girl. Yeah. I remember that.
That was I feel like that was such a long time ago.
It was. I mean, I remember listening to that, and I have since listened to it. And, I was listening really careful, expecting that person was lying and making it up, and really listening for signs that person was lying. And I felt like that person came off just in voice only to me as sounding very authentic and forthcoming.
I agree.
But that, I could have been fooled, but
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. I as soon as as immediately when I was listening to it, I just felt like I believed this person.
Yeah.
Why come out and not reveal your identity? You don't even say your name. But then again, I guess that could go both ways, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It just seemed really random. Yeah.
Yeah. And hey, the Tilted Lawyer, how are you doing? Hey, Omar. Oh, he was in here a while ago. I don't know if you're still here, but always nice to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. And Omar, I was telling him when he was when we got together to talk about the Idaho case a few weeks ago that he's got to come back on soon to talk about the Watts case. Oh, and District Attorney Rourke specifically. Oh, we have to schedule that. I'm going to text you. We have to schedule something soon because we need like full Omar attention and legal analysis on this one. I have some very specific questions. That'll be great. Cool.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. Yeah. I am too.
Wow. That would be amazing.
Yeah.
But I think that question, because DA Rourke did confirm that is not a typo. It doesn't say August 1st, 2018, or sorry, September 1st, 2018. It's 2017.
Yeah.
He confirmed that it's the actual year.
The digital, the digital forensic analysis of her phone. That's what it's from. It is not a typo. It was Amanda Purcell, the record keeper at Weld County, that told someone it was a typo because she had been given orders to kind of gatekeep. And so she just made that up. And then for some reason he decides to be forthcoming about that after the fact, which is really weird, but okay.
Well, I guess it would have gone badly for him if he went along with the lie. So he probably was put in a corner and had to tell the truth.
Yeah, that's true. That's
yeah.
True.
And but the fact that no one followed up on this, I think is very telling already in itself.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's very strange.
How does that not bother anybody?
Right. And there's so many times I've heard people, or it's happened here, I've been watching other channels, or whatever the case is, I'm witness to people having some kind of conversation where it's like, somebody's saying, oh, NK is complicit in this or guilty of doing this or whatever. And someone will be like, oh no, she just, she's guilty of, sleeping with a married man, and that's it. And then this will come up, this search for Shanann Watts 9 months before they supposedly met, and people are like, oh,
yep.
It really makes you rethink things,
It changes everything. It feels premeditated.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Premeditation shaves off or adds a lot of years whenever you're getting sentenced for a crime.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's true. And I mean, as far as, I was premeditation to the murder, definitely. But I'm like, the way I kind of think about it, and that might be right, but the way I always kind of think about it was more like premeditation of the woman planning to go after this man. And possibly, I feel like she had some kind of strong feelings for Shanann, whether, like single white female kind of thing or something else. But I think it was, her, the way I always have seen it, like her kind of premeditation was just the planning and figuring out how to embed herself into their lives the way that she wanted to be for whatever crazy reason,
Well, yeah. And then even more simply, it just, if you're searching her in 2017, it is very clear they have a happy marriage on Facebook. So this entire premise of innocent mistress just kind of goes out the window at this point. You build your entire story on a lie if you can prove that in that 2017 search proves that she was aware of this happy marriage.
Yeah,
she was aware of it, and continue to be. I mean, once you find the ladies, NK is going to be going back to the Facebook and checking monthly what's going on with them. So
Oh
she
my
knew.
God, like daily.
Exactly. You know how we are, us
Yeah,
women.
no, I know. Yeah. But
We're
she's
the
gonna
best
be
detectives over here.
yeah, she's gonna see everything. She's gonna know what's going on for sure. I'm sure she's not missing anything.
Exactly. So that changes everything. All those NK supporters. Well, she was just a mistress. No, she wasn't. She focused on this dude for whatever reason. I want to know why.
Yeah.
What made her search? Oh, sorry, Shanann, not him.
Yeah, I know. It is a really good question. And I think what you initially said has to be right. Horrible intro. I thought it was a good intro. What do you mean by that? Let me know how I can improve it for you.
Okay.
I had never really thought of it. The way you just said it, it's kind of like so obvious, but I never thought of it in exactly those terms, but it almost does.
What do you mean? What did I say? Because I said I talk too much.
I'm sorry. So
no, I talk too much.
That search, specifically because it is for Shanann, makes it seem kind of, very probable or possible or likely that she had met Chris and she was wanting to know who the wife was. What was her deal? What does she look like? Something along those lines. Yeah.
That's true. Just an interesting thought. Either way, she's not innocent. Sorry, y'all.
Yeah.
And I think your intro is great. It's very difficult to create intros. I've tried to do it myself, and it's difficult. So
yeah. I mean, it is. It's super time consuming. That's why it's so annoying. With YouTube, the change in their policies about music, it's been really expensive and time wasting. It's been terrible, actually. Hey, Justice A through Z. Yeah, really like pain in the butt. Sorry, I'm just like reading through your guys' comments right now. Hey, Aussie True Crime, how are you doing? Nice to see you.
Was in 2017 was NK? She wasn't working for Anadarko yet, right?
No, she wasn't working for Anadarko until the March, I believe, before, just a couple months before they met that March.
You know that photo of her doing the jungle gym at the hospital?
Yeah.
When was? Can you recall?
You know what? That would have been the summer just before the summer of 2017.
So would she have met Shanann at some point then? Because what was Shanann? She was doing the whole Thrive thing this whole time.
She was, but listen, but NK was doing that. She was because she was so fit, macros, and in the workout community,
of course,
yes,
of course, totally.
And, so she was doing that, and I know they partnered with the Children's Hospital Shanann was working for, but I mean, I'm just going to be really honest. I don't think she met Shanann. Shanann worked there. She worked the third shift there. Then this is just, I'm afraid, people are going to have something certain to say about it. But Shanann wasn't very active on her own, by her own word. She wasn't very active back then. She was tired all the time. So she had Thrive. She didn't really get out and do like community things. I really just don't feel like she would have, I mean, it's certainly possible, but I personally don't believe that is a likely explanation of how they may have met previous to.
No. I'm just wondering if that would be a possibility. And Miss Justice said, I don't know if that's true. Shanann organized that fitness challenge.
I had heard that when people, a long time ago. I didn't find. I tried to research that. I researched that as well as I could at the time. Maybe I could go back and do it now and find more avenues for information, just because I know where you find them for this case. I didn't find that she had any involvement in that activity. She was just working the call center. And that's what she did. She was like a call center, something or other. I don't know what the exact title would be. She works in the call center at the Children's Hospital, third shift. Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. I have to log in because I'm on StreamYard and I have to join to join the chat. I have to log in. So if I hop off or you don't hear me, it's because I'm trying to join the chat through StreamYard because of, you get it. Let me
I got
just
you.
give me
Cool.
1 second.
Awesome. Thank you. Oh, let's see.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, I watched your challenge just the other day, Aussie True Crime. I really enjoyed it. It was like you have like a more like relaxing vibe than I do. I was like, I really was watching thinking like maybe I need to tone it down a little bit at times. This is kind of good.
Everybody has their own style, and that's what we like. You know, we can
Yes,
go to
that's
different
true.
places
That's
for their
very
own
true.
styles.
What was the room with the ugly rod curtains? You mean in the Watts house? Is that what you're talking about? I'm not sure. Let me know what you're asking there. Let's see.
And I'll say it, I've always said it, and I'll say it again, that the most innocent people, I mean the children, suffered for the stupid mistakes of these adults.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That is just
it's so sad. Oh God, I'm sorry. These, my gosh, I need to redo this Facebook 2017 video. This is actually kind of embarrassing. They're all kinds of out of order. So I just saw another August one here. So I'm just going to kind of go through this a little slowly. Yeah. Okay. So there's February. And then I know that this picture's from March because I just know that. How sad is that? And CC in the toilet. I don't know when that is from. I feel like it's from, let's say February. Yep. And then this is April. But I just saw one of Christine Meacham. This is August here. So this one's August 16th, 2017. So that would be right around the time, right before, that September 1st date. And they're just taking the girls to school.
A couple weeks before the search for Shanann.
Yeah.
And we don't know if they had like mutual friends on Facebook because Shanann's stuff was super public.
Yeah, so, we do not know, but do remember that there was a search for Chris Watts that preceded that search for Shanann, and that was on August 7th of 2017.
Oh. Is that's in the discovery, like the unredacted one?
Yeah, yes, it is. Yeah.
Oh shoot, I didn't know that. See, damn. Okay.
Yeah. Yep. I probably can show you that too. Do you want to read a couple comments? I'll grab that for you.
I would. Yes.
Okay.
Let's see. I'm gonna start where I can see. Red curtains. Something about red curtains. What was something about the red curtains? DC Prime says, same. I've looked up X as guilty. I don't believe NK didn't do the same. Of course, we're all the same. Sweet Crazy said, I still think Jim was involved. Well,
leave Jim alone.
Yeah, we have to leave him alone. NK said.
Leave Jim alone. Leave Jim out of this. Leave Jim alone.
The only thing I feel like he was involved in, maybe from looking outside in, is just he was. I think that he was just another partner, for NK.
Yeah,
he had a key to her house. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Hello, JD. Sis Vicious. Hey, good to see you. Do you think NK was sent to wreck Shanann's life and family by a victim of the Ponzi scheme she was in?
No.
I think that would be a very elaborate thing.
That
it's
would
like something that happens in the movies.
No, I'm like, no.
That's a lot of work to do that.
All of the, there's a number of like theories that NK was sent to, ruin their lives. I don't listen because we've gotten to know NK's personality profile so well, and she is the way that she is. She was obsessive. She was, she had an intense. Liz, I've said before, like, and obviously I don't know. This is not an attempt at any kind of diagnosis.
Of course,
I see her as having a lot of traits of borderline personality disorder, and the way that she kind of, got really weird. With that family and relationship, it would be right in line. Not to say that people who have been diagnosed with borderline personality do really weird things like the skanky empanada, but maybe they do. I don't know, but I'm just talking about her specifically. So please don't anyone get upset by that. I don't think it was an environmental company because NK is a geologist and so is Jim, and they wanted to blow up the oil field because they didn't like fracking. I don't believe in that. I don't believe it was because of MLMs, like that is just so far from Occam's razor. Like the razor itself is crying. So, but that's just me. If people like have those questions and believe that, or just want to hear about why we would think that it's plausible or not, that's a great conversation. So,
well, you know,
heard
if
so
you want
many
like
theories.
if you think about it, NK was in a honeymoon phase with Chris Watts. I mean, they were doing the dirty several times a day. They were super in love with each other. You know, it was that new love. It was I would do anything for you kind of thing. So when a woman is in that mindset and she's also unbalanced, maybe mentally unbalanced, then I would very much see this person doing very crazy things.
And she's also at a point in her life where she is very focused on finding a partner. She does not like being almost 30 and single.
Which she said it herself in that email, that we're not making that up. And Kelly's not just assuming that. She said, I want to find what you have with your wife and your kids.
And she also said it during her interviews to Kobach a couple times. Yeah.
Correct. So that's something that she was already in that time of her life where she wanted something kind of close to what Shanann had.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're right. And that's such a good point you made, R. She says it to Chris that she says that, but something beautiful, like the beautiful life you have with you and your daughters, that I also am going to say that I believe you're divorcing because
and even though it was, you know, she probably knew it wasn't true. She wanted it so much to be true that she continued to live in her fallacy of what her reality would be. And
or she just blatantly made it up, and then he kind of followed suit.
Again, unstable. I'm trying to be kind here without being kind to her, but she's a crazy lady, though. I still think that, but you know, but she was making something up in her mind, and she's like, "Wow, Chris is such a good dad, and he said he has a great job. Like, I want that."
Yeah,
and it was only until she stepped inside that house that she realized this house is not mine.
Right.
But so. Am I going to be able to have a life like this? And she realized that she was always going to be the second fiddle, her own words as well.
Yeah, that's right. That is totally right. So, okay. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Okay. So I'm just going to share this with you. This is from, okay. So this is kind of weird. In the discovery, there is a mentioning of that September 1st search for Shanann Watts. And that is separate and apart for these ones we're going to look at here because, again, it was designated as being the first item on the discovery timeline. And I absolutely think that is intentional because I think that was the most important unexplainable search for one of these people long before Chris and NK were working with one another. So in another place in the discovery where these two searches both appear together, let me just bring this into the stream here.
I'm excited to see this. Not gonna lie.
Thanks. You're good. I'm glad. And welcome to everybody who's coming in, by the way.
You always have a great chat, and your mods are amazing. You know that.
Yeah. No, mods, you guys are amazing. And everyone here, you guys are awesome. It's just like, I really feel like you're really awesome. It's like definitely a unique channel community. I'm like live chat community, and I love it. You guys are great. Okay. So can you see this?
Vaguely, it's a little blurry, but yes.
Okay, it's blurry. So, okay. Yeah, it is blurry. I can probably get a sharper version if you want me to.
That's a little better, yeah.
Okay, here, hold it. I can do something else too. Just give me one sec. I'm just going to take us off the screen for a minute, and hopefully they'll be a little bit better.
Okay. How dare you? Oh my goodness.
So it says several searches for Christopher Watts can be found prior to August 12th, 2018. I wonder why they chose that day because she wasn't even mentioned discovering that. I have to find that full discovery page.
Interesting.
These entries appear to have been deleted, and then it gives the search numbers.
Wait,
and
why does seven? Sorry, I apologize. Why does the top one not say AM or PM? But the bottom one, does it say, like, it says 8/2/2017 and the other one says 1/7/2018, and that one tells you AM, right? But the one above that doesn't, or was something? Looks like something was whited out, or am I tripping? I'm not sure. Can you hear me? Hello? Miss Kelly, are you here?
Sorry, yeah, I'm here. I
Oh,
just
okay,
accidentally
okay.
muted myself. Okay, sorry about that. I thought this through before actually, and I think that the reason it looks like that, because many people have brought that up. These two searches were in a printout from her computer. They were on two totally different pages because
Okay.
chronologically they're in two totally different places in the calendar, right? So then
Okay.
he just put the two, these two searches specifically together on one page of discovery, like photo. You know what I mean? So
Yes, but then again, my other question was the one on
PM.
top where it says 8/2/2017 doesn't say AM or PM, and
Yeah,
that's
I
just
don't know because I was ready to say if one of them said PM and the other didn't say AM. Sometimes that's just how PM and AM are notated. It will say PM, but AM
okay.
it will not say anything. But so I don't know. I mean, it's a
Sorry,
good
something
question.
weird. Something. I'm sorry. I'm
No, it's a good
weird.
question. That was a good question. But so and then here it's noted the search for Chris Watts on August 3rd, 2017. I thought it was 1st, sorry. Or I thought it was 7th, actually. I misspoke. Oh, it's September 7th. Is another time she searched for Shanann. Okay. So the very first searches that NK did for either Chris or Shanann, way before she knew either of them, first one was for Chris, and that was on August 3rd of 2017. And then just about a month later, she searched Shanann on September 1st, 2017. And remember, these are just searches that were able to be found among her deleted search histories.
Well, so would it be? What do you think, Kelly? Would it be possible that she met him on that day, August 3rd of 2017,
Sure.
and then maybe then searched him up?
Mm-hmm.
Then why wait a whole month to search the wife?
Well, that's why I said it. These were only of the search or of the findable searches of those that she deleted on her computer. And there are other devices she could have searched on as well without her accounts being synced. So, it's not like this is the only computer,
I
the
hear
only
you.
account from which she can search the internet. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. So would it be possible that there were like searches before this that we don't even know about?
Oh,
Like
yeah,
that would trip
totally.
me out. That would trip me
I
out.
mean, anything's possible with, yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is just the
So
information that's presented to us.
I want to know what was going on August the 3rd of 2017.
I
What was Chris
know.
doing?
Here, read
Oh
some
God,
comments. I'm gonna go do
I
some
will.
investigation. I'll be back in
The rabbit
probably
hole is
2
real.
minutes. Yeah.
Okay, I'll do that.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, it's a good question.
What sparked NK's initial? Yes, that's what we've been saying. Crime Pod. GWIS says NK did that search after making eyes with him. But see, that's what I would want to know. Why did these searches even happen? I also want to know why. How can you delete some searches and not others? I don't, or again, different devices, but that's still very interesting. Chick, you're like doing such a good job making sure people, and if you have not liked this video, please do so, because there are 373 people watching and 215 likes so far
How
than what I'm
dare
seeing.
you? No, I'm just kidding. Thank you. No, you
Like,
guys are really good.
how
with that.
dare
It makes
you
it-
not like
it
this
makes a
video?
difference. I don't know. I personally, whenever I watch a video, that's the way the first thing I do is like it. Even I don't know if I like it or not, because I know even if I don't like it, or if I think the creator kind of sucks, which I really don't often think creators suck, but I just know that people put time and effort
they
and
do.
money into doing this stuff. So it's just,
And lose sleep,
help
because
out.
people like to sleep at this time, but we're not.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, good point.
And we're not sleeping, so at least give us a thumbs up for that.
Right.
Good night, DC.
Good night,
Don H says
DC.
Kristen
Thank
and Kay knew
you.
each other before she worked with him. Of course she did. What makes you so certain of that, Don H? I'm very interested to know.
What was that? I'm sorry. Could you say that again? What?
Don H said Kristen and Kay knew each other before she worked with him. Of course she did. And my question is, like, what makes you so certain? I feel like she had eyes on him, of course. But it really, bugs my brain. I want to know what it was that triggered these searches.
Yeah.
That would tell us a lot. And why was not investigated? Why? I don't know. I feel like this happens too often in true crime cases, like with Kylie Rodney, why so many things were not followed up. It just seems like maybe it's a waste of time and money to do a proper investigation of things sometimes. They just want to close the cases and just move on to the next thing. I don't know. Sometimes it's very frustrating. But also, these are real people that are working these cases. They're human beings, and they're not superheroes. And when Chris confessed, he just kind of like unintentionally just put a stop to everything. And what is going to fund more of an investigation?
Yeah. Well, yes, he did. He put an even bigger stop, I guess, than there already was. But I always have to make the point that they put a stop to it far before. Well, yeah. I know it's a matter of basically semantics. You're right. Yeah. No, good point.
It just seems like that gave let's say it this way. It gave everybody an excuse to just put a stop to it.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. No, I mean, the way you said both was right.
Tammy was adamant, even in her interview in that docuseries, that I just feel like we weren't done. And I feel like Tammy, out of all the investigators that we saw, I feel was the most pure intentioned person investigating this. Like she really wanted to get to the bottom of what happened to the children.
She did.
Not Shanann, but mostly the children.
Yeah, I think both of them. But yeah, she was definitely, her heart was in it.
She was more vocal about it stopping when it did, I think. And Giovanni says, I love the late night time slot. Yes, so do I.
And wait till you see what I am finding happened in that August of 2017. Just keep reading comments.
I'm buying time for you, Miss Kelly, because I know you got them receipts. I will do whatever you need me. I will do the song and dance. Victoria said she had to behave in front of police. Yes. And also NK is like a great actress. She pretended to be who she needed to be for Chris. She pretended who she needed to be for investigators. She pretends who she needs to be for her dad.
Yes.
She pretends who she needs to be for Jim, her company. Like she has many masks at this point.
It must be exhausting to be her. She's like, whatever you need, baby, I've got it.
Exactly. And I've been following the Gypsy Rose thing, and Gypsy Rose is the exact same way.
Oh yes,
many masks.
Yep.
It's true.
See, 416 GGG says, I'm curious if she just used Chris to get close to Shanann. I think that's unlikely. Like she really liked that intimate time. Like she was really manipulating him with that.
Yeah.
And it's not like NK couldn't get that from anyone else. I feel like this was targeted. Like she wanted a husband because it's not like she was ugly. I mean, I'm sorry. I know you don't think she is, but like many men, when they look at that, they're like, wow, I want that.
Yeah, no. I mean, if I didn't know her personality, I wouldn't think she was ugly, but I just can't help it.
we just see the inside. We see the inside, and I see an ugly person. So I will never look at her and think she's attractive.
She has some homely qualities as well. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, I know what you mean. Like there are a lot of.
You're nicer than me. But it's not like she was lacking male attention, but she was focused on this one male specifically. She wanted a husband and a dad. Maybe she wanted to replace, maybe she has some daddy issues. She wanted to replace her dad with this dad. I don't know. That I'm just reaching now. Sweet Crazy says she could have seen one of them in a grocery store. Well, but you don't know someone's name at the grocery store. I mean, unless no, you don't. Justice says this was intentional. Amanda says, what about the work emails? Is there anything in those indicating prior knowledge? From my understanding, no. The only thing that seems like she had prior knowledge is knowing that he had a happy marriage, because in her email she says, I want to build something like you have with your wife and your kids. So that's acknowledgement of him being in a happy family, a happy father.
And remember, it was just the 2 days previous. Well, it was, the 2 days previous on the 10th and the 11th that Shanann posted the videos letting her family, meaning Bella and Cece and then Chris, know that she was pregnant. And then all of a sudden, first thing in the morning on the 12th, oh my gosh, for one day and one day only, Chris and Nichol are communicating at work. And what they are talking about is, thanks for being so honest with me this morning.
Exactly. Yeah. She probably questioned him like, hey, what's going on with this? So, and I think you and I have had this discussion in past that she knew that Shanann was pregnant. She absolutely knew.
There's no way she did not know.
Right. And you've proven that without a doubt. And when we were discussing this, all the receipts, like, she was watching the Facebook. If she searched Shanann in 2017, she knew that the woman was pregnant. Shanann told the whole world,
Yeah.
Yeah. So denying it. So everything. So deleting text messages, denying the fact that she knew she was pregnant. That should have given investigators more ammo to dig deeper into NK.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's really, I mean, it's very clear that they very intentionally turn their heads. It was by design. It wasn't just like this one didn't fall through the cracks.
Right.
You
And that's
know.
why, yeah, and that's why people go off in their theories that, well, the dad is a Mason and he has control over the town. That's why people go into these crazy things, because how else do you
Yeah.
explain this
Yeah.
this crap? Excuse me, but
No, I get it. I mean, we have this, like, humans need to understand these things. It's not even like a conscious thing. It's like a function of our brain. It is this, we've talked about this before. It is a survival mechanism. It is so burdensome to the most important natural drive we have, which is that survival, which propels our species forward. And that is why people get so interested in this kind of thing. Hence,
and we want to trust, we want to trust our justice system, because we are judged and sentenced by this justice system. So
right.
if we see this going on, like what?
Yeah, or on
honestly,
the flip side, we are protected by it, and we need that just as badly, you know?
Well, it's either or, the way you look at it, because it's if it's faulty, and then us as people we have the right to examine these things. That's why we are
Sure.
allowed information, and we need to. It's just, I don't know. I'm kind of going off on a tangent because I'm getting a little emotional, but it's really not
Okay.
fair
No, it's
what the
important.
justice system did and how they lacked in this case.
That's absolutely right. And, you know, for people to say, you know, it's not your business. No, and I don't know how many times I said this. That's why I often play that, you know, like I have that or I'll just put up on the screen that quote from Benjamin Franklin that, you know, people aren't as, you know, passionate about justice. I can't, I'm too tired to think of it right now. You know,
I
it.
know.
But you know, and I have always so strongly believed that. And I think it is just true. And people stop giving a shit about something, that something starts to rust and not work well. And we cannot allow that to happen with our justice system that provides us protection when we need it and provides us freedom. Like you don't want protection and freedom. Okay, cool. Then don't care. Bye-bye.
Well, and the people need to keep the system in check.
Right.
Because then if we do not, then the system is going to do whatever it wants. It's going to run itself by the people in it.
That's like when you don't have an opponent to run for district attorney and you just get to roll through 4 terms unopposed. That should not be allowed.
Correct.
Somebody find that man an opponent. Does anybody here live in Denver? If you do, raise your hand, email me. I'm going to send you a survey to see if you're qualified. And if you are, Watsy Obsession is going to sponsor you to run against District Attorney Rourke. Let's go.
Okay, let's go. Honestly, let's go, because we need to keep these people in check. And sometimes the people and us talking about it, and people then talking about this content and sharing, and TikTok is super powerful right now. TikTok is making a big, it's doing something in the Gypsy Rose case, like in everything that's going on with her. They're actually making a difference in keeping that in check. It's amazing how much just discussing things can change society and keeping our system in check. So no, I don't. Anybody that criticizes us talking about a case like this, if it was your family, would you be talking? I mean, and you found some sort of injustice, would you be talking about it, wanting to keep it in the light? If that makes sense. I kind of
and then some people will say, you know, well, the family members don't want it to be investigated. Well, you know, and I love, you know, I love all those family members, and I hate the idea that anything that I could do or say would cause them any harm, and I hope it doesn't. I hope if they don't like what I have to say, that they just don't watch me, because I really, that makes me feel terrible. I hate it. But just because, you know, a family who is suffering doesn't want something does not mean that is what we, you know, the citizens of our society should be doing in defense of our justice system. And
correct.
You know, if you can't separate that emotion from your, you know, civic responsibility, then, you know, I don't know what to tell you, but I can, and I think everyone should.
And NK is, I mean, if she was somebody else, I don't think
she would
have gotten away.
Yeah.
Excuse me, with deleting text messages. Thank you. Sorry, it's when I get angry, I start sneezing.
Are you kidding? No. You have a cold, allergies.
Yeah, allergies.
My
So,
allergies
but
are horrible right now. Okay.
exactly. But again, if it was anyone but NK, let's say it was a guy or anyone but NK who babied her way through this interview and had her
Mhm.
daddy there, do you think they would have gotten away with, oh, we're deleting the text message? That's literally obstruction of justice. Literally.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
And someone said that in the chat.
That's good. Very astute. All right, I'm going to play you some videos from
ma'am.
August of 2017. Sound good? So this is
yes,
what
please.
Nichol Kessinger would have seen when she was, well, okay, so wait. Maybe I should go back a little further even, because when she Googled him on August 3rd, we
3rd.
want to see what
Yeah.
she saw then. All right, so let me go back just a little bit further even.
It would be just be interesting to put a timeline. Like, okay, she researched Chris August the 3rd, 2017.
Mhm.
What was she
Yeah,
seeing
yeah,
before
no.
that time? And
I
then
think
what was
that's it.
going on in that month? And then research Shanann.
Yeah. Let's see here. So that would be, okay, there's that. So, wait, okay, sorry. I got, oh God, there's
You're
so
good,
many,
you're good.
so much
Someone
information
says,
on my
I
screens
don't
right
get
now.
it. Check August 3rd, 2017. Yeah, that's what we're doing. It's just, I've never really, like, if it wasn't for Kelly or just having these discussions, I kind of wouldn't even have thought about this, because I hadn't seen that timeline that Kelly shared about. I didn't know that NK searched him on August the 3rd of 2017.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I just thought it was September. So it would be interesting to see what was going on online that would have made, what would have NK been seeing, and then put that in perspective, and then listen to her interviews when she's talking to detectives and denying that she knew anything. I didn't know she was pregnant. I didn't even know who these people were. I just met Chris this one time. Or if she didn't mean any malice, then why not admit, like, oh yeah, I had researched them. I met Shanann here. I met Chris there. If she was so innocent in all this.
Yeah, absolutely. I fully agree with that. All right, so I've got this. Okay, oh good. Yeah, I got the chronological video I put in playlist. Okay, all right. So there are a lot of posts, and we're looking at videos right now. I'm going past like the individual, like just like little, display posts in favor of looking at videos, because maybe it'll give us a little more information. And honestly, it's just a little easier for me to find right now while I'm in the middle of a live stream as well. So in June, as far as videos go of 2017, there were a number of just videos, including the first one I have here is the one where they're playing chess and people, you know what I'm talking about? They're playing that like the big chess.
Oh yeah. And then Shanann's like, oh, you lose, and and everyone.
Yeah, people are like, oh, she's like being so
Yes.
I mean, I didn't think it was that terrible. They also go to the Metallica concert in June of 2017.
Is that what when the video where she bought him the shirt, or she gets it?
Let's see. So, nope, they're actually at the concert in June of 2017. So she must have given him.
Wait, Miss Kelly. So this was around the Metallica concert, Metallica time. But
Yeah.
then Chris is sharing that Metallica song with NK the day of the unalivings, or the day.
Oh, that's really interesting. Okay, hold it. let me bring this into the stream for you. Okay. So that's a really interesting point. You're making some good connections. So not that that's surprising, but yeah, I don't think I ever would have thought of that. So it was on right here on May 13th, 2017, when Chris unboxes his Metallica tickets, and Cece is going ice, 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 ice for like 2 minutes in the background, and Bella wants ice too, and she stomps away. So let's just watch this for a second, and then yeah, this is really interesting. Oops.
He's getting a month to thrive.
Heck yeah.
Oh.
Oh, you got to be kidding me.
So he thinks he's getting a thrive thing, and then Shanann just like says, nope, this is not about work. I'm taking you out to this.
Ice, ice.
Give her the damn ice.
The kids are thrilled with your birthday.
What month was this, Kelly?
I see. May 13th, 2017. All right, so let's see what the next video is.
So, okay, so Shanann gives him Contra tickets and a Metallica shirt.
That's
so for
very
those people that
interesting.
say that Shanann didn't care about him or what he wanted, she was. I think she did.
Oh, right, yeah.
And
then this is just a cute video of Cece on the 14th. So
pigtails,
yeah,
though.
Cece.
It's the pigtails for me.
The goddamn that you like them or don't like them.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, they're like pulling their brains out of their head. I hate those. Okay.
They look cute though. They look cute though. I'm not gonna lie.
They do look cute, but they're very painful, obviously. So then, oh my gosh, that's interesting. So then we also have the Metallica. This is crazy. We also have from Shanann Watts' Facebook video, this this Metallica song themed short video of her.
Oh,
this is weird.
She did that for him. Wow.
Because nothing else matters. It's a Metallica song.
But he was always like a Metallica fan, right? Even before he
Yeah,
got married
big
to
time.
Shanann.
Yeah.
And was NK probably a Metallica fan? Probably not.
She's a fan of all kinds of music, Chris says.
Oh yeah, because she's like so great. And she also like shops at let's not forget.
Let's not forget.
The irony is too much.
Right. Well, we're definitely not watching the crib video. Bye-bye.
No.
Nope. So this one. Well, you know what? No. Maybe we are. Because this is kind of interesting that this
It's
is
important. We have to watch it.
Specifically talking about the sync one here. That remember, this is the stuff that we know she's seeing if she searched him at that time, right? So
yeah. We have to watch it. She was watching this. And Kay had to see all this.
Celeste, get down! Oh my gosh, off! Come on.
I don't remember seeing these, Kelly.
Give her the drink. You remember seeing it? And then this is just them like in crazy, like they're just thinking like they're.
She saw all of this.
Yeah. She's like, I like it.
Someone's like, let's watch it. Dang, it's making me crazy. Making me dizzy. Oh.
That girl needed to get her energy out.
Oh, yeah, no kidding. Oh, my goodness.
I know. This is like a weird series of videos. It doesn't reflect well. I wonder, I don't
think they made her look bad. I think Shanann was just still dealing with a crazy kid.
Yeah.
She's like, hiccup.
Yeah.
Dieter.
And then they all start chanting Dieter.
So NK saw these videos.
And then here's the Metallica concert. So this is now on June 7th of 2017. And here's Chris like raging to Metallica. And there's that. Okay. No. I'm just gonna kind of move this here. Oh, YouTube's gonna be pissed at me now. Jeez, is YouTube with their new music?
I know.
Sorry. It's just like
you can just mute it, maybe.
I miss you.
Oh.
You may. Thank you for asking politely.
You can mute the music stuff if you think it's gonna get you in trouble.
Yeah, I don't really feel a need to go back and watch it. Do you?
Yeah, no. I just wanted to see what was going on during that time that she.
Yeah.
Who's that?
Thrive thing.
Oh, do you think she was researching them for Thrive stuff?
No.
She was sent here from heaven.
I can't play this music either, or else I'd watch this video because it's really sweet, but they won't like
mute it.
Won't like
mute it.
Well, it's the music I think that makes it sweet.
Guys. So
there we go.
Currently kicking Chris's
when was this?
tail at Checkers.
June 19th, 2017.
Okay. He's not very happy about it. He
was
looks at
NK
it and says,
watching this?
What just happened?
What's that?
Was NK watching this?
Yeah, right. I'm sure she
People
was.
give Shanann a lot of crap about this. Like, wow, she's a bad lady. She's
I didn't think it was. I didn't think. I thought there. All the things that I did think were kind of bad. This was not really one of them. I mean, she was a little too much, like a little mean spirited. But I mean, I don't know. He ended up killing her and his children, so I can't feel that bad about it.
His ego was. He didn't have any confidence, and his ego was non-existent.
That's right. Yes, and now she
And
is.
that's not her fault, though.
No, it's not.
So one of the perks of coming to a lifestyle getaway is it is strictly like fun, vacation, no training, nothing to do but mingling. I'm going to show you a little bit of what's lifestyle getaway information.
And I'm pretty sure that Chris is not on this lifestyle getaway because this is the one where I think that they, accuse her of something.
Yeah.
So, okay.
But NK was watching all of this.
Yeah.
Why search
YouTube
someone
hates
that's
music.
like, why search someone?
It's this Lavelle promotional craziness. Here.
Oh my gosh. Guys, this is our first VIP party. Busted butt to get here. We're here. We're mingling, getting to know people.
Oh man, it is so nice here at this cocktail party. You guys have no idea.
It's so elegant and so just beautiful. And look at all these people. There's so many people in here. I can't get it all. We're hiding in a corner so you guys can hear us a little bit better. But we're gonna go finish mingling, having a couple of drinks. I'm gonna grab some food. Chris is gonna grab some food. So we'll see you guys.
Interesting.
I totally heard that in your voice.
Yeah,
I heard. I know. I've been your friend for too long, Miss Kelly.
Yes. And so I actually want to. I like this video because Bella's like a little rambunctious in it. I like it when Bella gets rambunctious.
Yes. Good night,
Good night, sweetheart. Email me if you need to.
Oh my God.
For you.
Sending you lots of hugs.
I have to.
I can't go the wrong way. Oh, you know what?
Okay. Okay.
Oh, there we go.
Pop up to my nose hair. Are you ready?
So excited.
Yeah, Set.
I said it before and I'll say it again. This man did not unalive his children. In my opinion.
Bella just gets she's overjoyed anytime she receives a littlest bit of attention. I just love Bella.
She's like a mini Chris. She's a mini Chris. Like she knows.
Don't say
she's
that.
The firstborn. No, I mean she was his first child and she loves him so much and they had a great relationship. And when you look at her, you see his face, and you could tell how much
they
he
look
loved her.
like, yeah.
I think you could tell how much he loved her.
Yeah.
I guess not enough.
No, she do it.
All right. Oh, where are you going?
Hang on, Bella.
But she was watching all of this. She had to see all this.
Yeah.
Pull my pants down, okay? Hold on.
So then Kate was watching this and said, "Man, I really want to talk to this guy."
Give me the phone, Cece. I got the phone.
How to balance yourself out a little more, kiddo.
I know what this is like. Like one of my sisters films literally everything with their kids. Like she films everything that the kids do. And I asked her, like, why do you do that? And then she said, I'm just like, I just want to I want to come back and remember these things because they grow up so fast.
Yeah, yeah.
So I get why she was like this, I guess. But NK would have had to see this then if she was researching them both in this 1 month time period.
Yeah. Now here's actually what is most interesting. It just took us a long time. Well, I don't know if it's most interesting. This is what caught my eye. It took us a long time to get here. Between the time when she searches for Chris in August and Shanann on the 1st of September, the Watts grandparents are in town. And we know because as it's talked about these videos, like in this video, like Chris's parents were ignoring Shanann. Apparently she was trying to like talk to them and stuff, and they were just like literally ignoring her. Like and there was like just some conflict. And then you think about, what happened in North Carolina with like Nutgate and all that,
Right.
It's just interesting, right?
Yes.
Do you want me to play this video at all, or?
Yeah, I mean, I'm interested to see when you're playing these things. I'm thinking about it that the NK is watching this also, and no, this was not live streamed. But why? Because I think J Lord is like, how do you know she was watching? Was this live stream? No. However, her searches from 2017 August to September implied that she was watching them online, and in doing so, you're going to find their public profiles. And once you find what you're looking for, you're going to keep watching because she eventually created a relationship with this guy.
Yeah, I've done it myself. Just like wanted to see something about someone on Facebook, and then I end up scrolling through like 5 years of like their whole, and like I'm like, what am I doing? And I snap out of it, and I don't do it all the time like she did, but NK did it all the time.
Correct.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to the restroom, Kelly.
Hi guys. What up? This is CC downtown Denver, like cruising my Christmas shoulder. Definitely working him. Hi, CC.
Your life up.
Cece's been taking a wear tear on Chris's shoulders. Cece.
Where you going, Belle?
On Bella. Home, it's not the moment.
Yeah.
Celeste.
Cece's calmed down now.
Of course, we went live. Say hi, Pop-Up. He's on the camera.
Hi. Oh, you got to go there. Someone's losing the charge in her batteries. So Bella. Come on, B.
Bella's falling asleep too.
Doing the crab walk.
I'm sorry. Oh, torture your children. Make them walk downtown.
I love Bella. Y'all know that. Okay, so this is August 10th.
I hate him up.
And this is the last night that the Watts grandparents are in town. The caption says she has a post that accompanies this video, and it's only 43 seconds long.
Go hey mommy. Go hey to mommy. How's the ride drive?
Bella.
Wait, Miss Kelly.
What are you eating?
When you have a second. Are you telling me that NK was doing these things, was researching them while the parents were in North Carolina?
She's all over. She's gonna have a stomach ache tonight.
I'm not sure.
You can hear me. Listen to the flag of the United States of America. And to the republic for which it stands, one nation,
Miss Kelly, can you
under
hear me?
God, and individual, liberty, and justice for all.
Good job.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello? Maybe not.
Okay, guys. So I'm trying to get organized here. Don't mind me. I'm a hot mess today. I'm keeping it real. So anyway, you guys have to really.
Oh, maybe Miss Kelly can't hear me.
Okay, lighting's better.
Oh, sorry. Just 1 second. I'm just texting my mom. Just 1 second.
Put some trial packs together here while I'm here with you guys. A lot of you been asking about Thrive and how it works. Hey, Sharon. Don't mind me. I'm a hot mess express over here today. So, and it's going to be fun trying to coordinate this with like no function. Hi, Sarah.
Okay, let me pause this.
All my
Okay.
two faves are on.
Okay, so I think I'm done with the Facebook,
so
and
I'm
I
just
actually
putting
got to
together
wrap up soon because I've got to do something kind of early-ish in the morning. But what do you think about all this? What are you thinking?
I appreciate you deep diving into the question that I had, and I apologize if it kind of took over a
No,
little
it's a
bit.
good
I didn't mean
question.
for that to
If
happen.
it took over too much, I would have ignored it and talked to you about it later.
Yeah, right. Text me later. Long text. But
No, I
this is
think
very interesting, I guess. And thank you for the receipts regarding that timeline.
Yeah. I mean, the timeline. It's always. I'm trying to find a good situation for us here. Okay, there we go.
I got you. And so, and then it's all you now here. I don't want
getting an accurate timeline is important throughout this whole case because they don't ever seem to provide one. You know, there's something that's always skewed, which is just weird. You know?
Of course, yeah. I mean, the timeline will tell you everything. The timeline doesn't lie. People lie, right? But phone records don't lie. Oh, and Sweet
Thank
Crazy
you
is
so much.
asking
Go
the link
back.
to this video, right? They're asking
which video?
For the link. Yes.
To what? For what?
To the videos you're showing, to the Facebook videos.
Oh, right now what I did was a couple of them I just had in my like file, and so I pulled them up, and then the other ones I went to the channel Watts Murders, which is really good because they have the videos in chronological order. If you don't know that about Watts Murders, unfortunately it's really low resolution, but they're in order. So that's the pros and cons of that channel.
Got it. I'm gonna hop down, Miss Kelly. I'm gonna watch the rest of your live here. I know you gotta go,
Well,
but
thank you
I'll
so
be
much
down
for
in the
coming up.
chat.
It's great talking to you. Awesome. And remember, Saturday night I'm doing the premiere of the premiere. Blah, 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 blah. So if you can be here, then do. And if not,
definitely
watch it when you can.
Yes, ma'am. No, we'll be there.
Awesome.
I love you so much.
It was great talking
Have a
to you.
good night.
Love you too, darling.
Bye.
Yeah. Great. That was a really good question about, what was going on in Facebook. I always, when I know there's like when you can find out there's like a heavy NK search and obsession period, I always check to see what she would have been finding out because it sort of creates a story that makes sense, I find. Didn't she have surgery on her neck? She did. It was the surgery is like a thing. It was a $25,000 out of pocket surgery. I don't want to get into their finances right now. We can when we talk about the MLM stuff because I know where that path leads, kind of. I mean, not the exact location, but I know the vibe of that street. Yeah, Ara's great. We love Ara. Let's see. Alicia. Hi, how are you doing? Welcome. Says it was only deemed an elective surgery because Chris did not have great insurance. The company did not have good insurance benefits. Really? I heard that I was under the impression it was quite the opposite, but I don't know, maybe, and I don't know if it's, do I even want to, but like with a neck surgery, it's like, if somebody needs neck surgery, there's usually like a lot of neck surgery is very serious. It always is very serious. There's always a risk of damaging your spine.
your spinal cord. These are like two of the things in your body you do not want to damage. And generally speaking, when a person gets neck surgery, it's because it's really freaking serious. But you know, and I'm not saying she didn't need it, but maybe she didn't. I don't know. But what I do know is based on what we do know of, you know, of a lot of the things the family would talk about, or she would talk about, or friends would talk about. We didn't really hear anything about like neck pain or like see like really restricted neck movement, which makes me think that it probably was elective, which, you know, I don't even know is that neither here nor there. You know, we do know that bankruptcy and finances were an issue, and that's like horrible and sad. And it's so terrible that they had to go through that stress, or Shanann had to go through that stress. And, you know, what ended up being the last part of her life, which is just crazy. But, you know, electing to get a surgery is going to cost $25,000 for whatever reason. That's a big decision. Let's see. That would have been car insurance. Why? Because she get in. Well, I know she was in a car accident many years ago, but was she claiming it was from the car accident many years ago? And I don't know if you could collect on that many years later. So who was it? Who was the insurance company then? I'm just interested. And again, I don't know if it really matters. I mean, it might be interesting to look into, but yeah, I know. Me too, Tupac's wife. I don't know if I would agree. Don't know if I would recover from that financially for a while. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I have found info on Anadarko benefits, and this was a while ago, and I think there's a video up actually talking about them. And my impression was, barring, you know, a couple categories, they were very good. The insurance was very good. Guys, it's a freaking oil company. They have to provide good health insurance. I mean, it's a PR mess. It's a you know, it's a mark. I would have a hard time thinking they did. I don't know. Let's see. But maybe the person's people saying that they don't already. I don't know. Let's see. What was that? I don't think no, there's no cosmetic surgeries for that. Well, I mean, yeah, no, you could. I mean, there's like, you know, if you have like, you know, like a lot of loose hanging skin. I can't remember what they call that. Sometimes, especially women as they get older, I call it turkey neck. You know, you want to get rid of that skin. That would be cosmetic surgery for that. But elective surgery doesn't mean cosmetic. It just means that it wasn't deemed medically necessary, but the patient for some reason wanted to have it anyway, and the doctor allowed it because they didn't find that the surgery that they were electing to have posed some kind of a medical risk that outweighed their desire to have the surgery. That where there may have been some need, but not enough. You know, there's like a lot of range of variability when you're talking about the difference between medically necessary and medically unnecessary, or not medically necessary, I should say. They were absolutely living above their means. Kessinger has a friend who had a car accident and had to have neck surgery. Yeah, it's a big deal. Well, Missy Q, I can't say I disagree with you on that. Oh my gosh. Good night, Sue's Animal Channel. Oh, that's a cute name. Sweet Crazy says, my girlfriend's surgery was not elected. She was almost paralyzed. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. There's that. Yeah. Yo, yikes. Is she okay now? I hope she is. That must be really scary. I would never want to have surgery on my neck. I'm like, oh God, I can't imagine. Elise P says she was in pain. possibly, I mean, yeah, I don't know if I have to keep following it up, the conversation, but let's see. Yeah, right. This is a good term rather than the more nuanced and confusing and not necessarily factual description I was just trying to roll out there. J. Lord says the surgery wasn't cosmetic, it was elective. When there's a difference between the two, yes. Meaning she would survive without it. Yeah, meaning she would survive and likely be fine and have I don't know. I'm not gonna go more nuanced than that, but yeah. Good statement there. Yeah, neck surgery is a huge deal. Why is J. Lord unbelievable? That was a good statement. Elisa, nobody's saying anybody's perfect or not. It's perfect. That's what, you know what? So we're ending the conversation about the neck surgery right now. Let's see. Except to say, I'm sorry that your girlfriend had that surgery and she's having that real life impact. Yeah. Aw. Ooh, Gregory, dang. That's crazy. He has a 5-level cervical fuse. Oh my God. That's intense. Due to my spine cord being, that must have been painful too, though. It was not pleasant. I'm sure it was not. Wow. Oh my goodness. I hope you feel comfortable more of the time now and that you've healed well from that. Oh yeah, Grandpa, didn't you recently have back surgery on your back? Aw, Missy Q says, aw, we can only imagine how handsome and fun little Nico would have been with two sisters, I want to read that correctly, who adored him. Aw, I know, he would have been a little joy. Oh, yeah, Crime Pod, that's right. That was so recent, too. How are you doing, Crime Pod? I'm sorry, I haven't checked in with you about that. Huh, interesting. All right, guys. Well, I think I am going to wrap it up because I think it is about that time. We didn't go over the other video I was referring to, which I didn't even think I defined to you what it was, but it was that crazy amount of text messages between Nichol Kessinger and Kevin Kobach. And the dates of those text messages spanned across the entirety of the interviewing period for her, starting with the evening after her first interview with CBI, the evening of August 16th, and going all the way till after her final interview with him, which was, towards the end of August. And when you review that, along with the what is said in the different interviews and how she responds differently to certain questions, or how she just responds to questions in general, or the things that she brings up in using her tried and true and highly refined cover NK's ass technique, it is very interesting. Now, the video I made did that to some degree, but after making the video and, hearing some from you guys and thinking about it more myself and looking at more myself and hearing from you guys and your really smart ideas, there's even so much more to take from comparing the text messages between NK and Kobach to all of that jazz in the videos. And it's quite striking. I did have that video up. I think I may have taken it down, so I'm not going to try to find it. And I just wanted to show you how many text messages there are, because it's a lot. Let's see. Oh, well, here it is. All right. I'm definitely not going to play the video right now because I'm too tired, but we will look at it soon. I hope everyone's having a great night. What other cases are you all into these days? Because when I take my little Watts break, I want to know what you guys are most interested in. Did you guys watch, or maybe you've seen it elsewhere? I put out a video yesterday, I think, or the day before, about Wade Wilson. Oh my God. There's going to have to be more content on him, because just from my perspective as a behavioral therapist, he's fascinating. I think he is to anybody. But then also just kind of the cultural things that are going on around him. Oh my gosh. We definitely have another character in the room, that's for sure, with his swastika and, evil Joker facial tattoos. Darn it. He copied my idea. I was planning on getting that by the end of the month before school started. Yeah, I was going to ask you if you want me to play this or not, but it's 40 minutes. Or I'm sorry, it's 50 minutes, and that's just too much right now. No, sorry, kids. You're going to have to go to bed. No, it's okay. We can play again in the morning. Nope. You need to eat a good breakfast first. So I feel like. Okay. So,
You know what I mean?
Ugh.
Yeah, I guess. Let me find it. I think
So she's been nasty to Charlotte.
oh, kids, and we're going to do this, and we're going to do that.
Yeah. All right, guys. So now I'm going to. Okay, so this is just like how many text messages there are between her and him. I'm not going to let us start watching this, so I'm going to mute it. But, I'm just going to kind of scroll through. This is sort of crazy. Oh, wait, is it in the stream? Let me see. Yeah, I'm getting tired. Things are getting a little hard for me here. I feel old right now. Oh, yeah, but if I do that, it's going to kind of darken it out. But anyway, there's a shitload of text messages between her and him. It was over 20 pages. And each page had, let's see what the average is. There's 6 on that one. I'm sorry. And then each page you see here to fit the YouTube content frame, I broke down the 20 pages into 2 parts. So there's really 40 pages on here. So let's say each of the 20 pages is, law enforcement had, I would say it would be safe to say 10 messages on it. So 20 times 10 is 200. So that was 200 messages between Kevin Kobach and NK approximately, off the record, not summarized in his summary reports regarding the case for his law enforcement duties and towards the discovery file. I don't know, man. Little bit weird, like so many other things in this case. Gosh. Okay, so Saturday night, it'll be probably like usual, start between 9 and 9:30. And again, when I do a premiere, I can't post it ahead of time. It's what happens is as you're loading the video, as soon as you load it to go onto YouTube, like if I was doing a normal uploaded video, I could just let it sit there and then, publish it when I want to, or I could schedule a time in the future to publish it. Or with a live stream, obviously you just upload the information and the thumbnail and all of that, and it puts it on the schedule and it puts it into people's feeds. With the premiere, you put all the information in, you click the button to put it into YouTube, and it just goes. I think it gives you 3 minutes and then it starts. But then once I do have that link, I'm not going to try to send an email because that's too hard. It's like too much pressure. But I'll put a link in the community post so you can easily find it. So it will start between 9 and 9:30. And if for some reason that can't happen, I will make sure I post that in the community post too. So you aren't looking for something that doesn't exist at the moment, because that would be really rude. I don't want to do that to you guys. You guys are great. I'm so happy you're back, Gregory. Yeah, Keshik says, thank you all for being so respectful. This is such a sensitive case. Yeah, thank you, moderators. And you guys are you're seriously the best. I appreciate you so much. Oh yeah, thank you, Crime Pod. You're so sweet too. Make sure to hit like Crime Pod says, and if you're ready to, if you're feeling better and stuff, we should schedule our live stream soon, Crime Pod. If you want to, just email me, and then I'll give you my phone number probably, because like if we're going to be scheduling a live stream, texting is just easier, to plan with. But yeah, whenever you're ready, let's do that. Yeah, how casually these two were texting. Isn't that crazy? How many number was... Do you mean how many texts? It approximately 200. Approximately 200 texts. I will actually... I have all of them. We can count them. We can figure that out for sure. But as I'm just kind of eyeballing it and guesstimating, 200 with a margin of error of 20... I don't know. I'm going to say it definitely wouldn't be under. It could be up to 240, 200 to 240. I'm looking at them all right now, like on a screen. Yeah. And sometimes there's more than 10 per page. Yeah. Weird. It's weird. Maybe she does talk men into bed. I remember for some of them, I don't think she needs to do any talking, but yeah. Yeah, I know. Wade Wilson, oh my God. I said in my first video that I wasn't convinced that he's a psychopath, clinically speaking, I can't really be convinced of anything because I've never met him or, done any evaluations with him or anything. But, I watched some more of his jailhouse phone calls that were actually previous to the one that I made the ones that I did a video on the other day. And the way he was speaking so casually about what he did, and just clearly, I changed my mind on that. I was wrong. People were like giving me a really hard time about that, but I was like, I'm just like, the jury's out on that one, but my jury is back with a verdict. And wow. Oh my gosh. He is an animal. I know. Yeah, I know. I don't know what I was thinking. Well, I was just thinking, I was literally like looking at the criteria and considering people that we do know are psychopaths and how they fit the criteria. And some of those things I had not seen in him yet, because he does have actual emotion. You can tell he does have, but that emotion, but then even the emotion itself is not necessarily pathological, but it certainly is not stable. It definitely ranges and fluctuates outside the normal range. But I feel like unlike the idea I had in my mind, which is not necessarily accurate for all psychopaths, he seems to have more actual emotive feeling. But I don't know. I can't think about Wade anymore, man. He gives me nightmares. That's what I was thinking too. Crime. Sorry about that. I hit the mute. That's exactly what I said. I said I feel very comfortable with sociopathy, but psychopathology, I don't know. But I don't know. But psychopath is definitely in the running now. Oh my goodness. Yeah, the tattoo face. Yeah. Hey, Anaphylaxis, how are you doing, my love? Wait, Mary, you said no. Do you mean evil? Wade Wilson is another. I was reading it like Lavelle, like the company Lavelle that sells Thrive. I'm like, there's no way he sells Thrive. I think you meant evil, maybe. He is. I mean, yeah, he's freaking horrible. And see, Justice A through Z says he doesn't have any emotion. And I was watching a whole lot of Wade footage, excuse me, and thinking about this because I know the mimicking. Like they're all the things that exist. But at this time, and I might change my mind, I am personally willing to say I believe that he has sincere emotion, and that's what took him out of the psychopath category for me. I don't know that we should have this is definitely a very good discussion, because I would normally tend to agree with you on most things having to do with psychology, Justice A through Z, but I don't know. I've done a lot. I've done a lot of analysis of this human, or why do I want monster? I don't even want to call him a human being. That was like an opposite Freudian slip. I feel the need to analyze. I feel like I want to wrap my head around a psychological profile, which is sort of a lofty goal, but see, sweet crazy says if emotion is fake, Kelly, listen to him. It's completely fake. See, I know. And at first I was like, I was thinking that we had my mind made up. There's no way he is not a straight up psychopath. There's no way. And I don't know. I did not kind of shift my thinking easily, but let's talk about it sometime. If you guys are interested in that, I would be interested in the discussion, but I'm not going to say anything more about it because I will never stop talking about it then. Yeah, that's such a weird thing about it, is that there's this whole I really don't like TikTok. I don't know. I'm trying to like it. And there are some really good things on TikTok. There's some good creators, but it feels so unregulated to me. I feel like there's just so much more bullshit on TikTok and people making things up and people acting irresponsibly than on YouTube. Okay, fine. Thanks, YouTube, for all of your restrictions and screwing us around that you do. And I kind of do mean it, YouTube. I love you and I hate you all at the same time. I don't know. But then I guess the good thing is, because there is so much more bullshit on TikTok, usually content is not as involved. It's not as lengthy. It's not, it's not taken as seriously. So maybe there's just a place for TikTok and there's a place for YouTube and everything else. But I'm having a hard time connecting with TikTok. I want to love TikTok, but I don't. Maybe I'm the psychopath. Maybe it's me. I don't love I don't love TikTok. I just don't. Yeah, but I think it's mostly a TikTok phenomenon. I know it's outside of that too, but I feel like it started there. I don't know that. That's just my feeling about it. I could be wrong. Doing what these some people do with Brian Koberger, with Chris Watts, with Ted Bundy, with whoever, and just freaking loving this guy. And because they're just simping all over this guy, oh my God, some of the videos guys are horrible. I don't even want to talk about it. Not because I'm like, can't have an adult conversation about something sexual, but because it's so disgusting to me that people are being like this with this guy after what he did to those women. So yeah, go discover for yourself. But it's just really, I don't know. It's really strange. And I don't think Chris Watts is good looking at all. I do not think Brian Koberger is good looking at all. Like, I do think that Wade Wilson was a good looking guy before the like Nazi and evil Joker tattoos and the chipped teeth from whatever happened when he murdered two beautiful, completely innocent women, took their lives and from themselves, obviously, and their families. And yes, I get it. We hear in the interviews that all he still cares about is what happened to his own. This sucks. I'm so bored. Like, who the hell could even say that after what he did? That his girlfriend even points it out to him. But even though I can recognize, I think he was an attractive person prior to all that fucked upness that he did to himself. Like, I think he's absolutely disgusting. I don't, it's not surprising to me because I know that this, I know, I don't know. I know that this is a psychological phenomenon, but also not. And I know that there are people that are just going to take the first opportunity to fawn all over these bad guys for whatever reason. The way he did is so disgusting. The people that are acting like that are kind of disgusting me, and I don't usually feel that way about, I don't know. I feel so conflicted about this case, guys. I'm talking about the Wade Wilson case, but I want to start calling it something different because I want to put more attention on the victim. So yeah, we have to talk about this case more. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. We'll talk about it sometime. Hey, Karen G, how are you doing? Oh, Hooper's Delight all day. No kidding. Oh my God, the way he was like smiling and glaring at people when they were giving testimonies. It's just so inappropriate. Oh my goodness.